So look,
You just
just so
get
you
you a
know,
light ring. They're really
yeah,
inexpensive.
yeah, we got one in here. We got one. I see it. It's
I
looking
can't
at
reach it now, but
I can get it.
No, you don't. I don't want to have to pick you up off the floor.
I made it out here to go out there.
So how's it going? We hadn't seen you since you took that long. Well, what'd you have, like a 9-hour drive home from Kentucky?
for us to get there, if we would have drove straight there, it would have been about 6 hours to Beth's house, and then it was an hour and 30 minutes to Bobby Mackey's or the hotel, and the hotel wasn't but like 10 or 15 minutes from Bobby Mackey's, which I was expecting Bobby Mackey's to be out in the middle of nowhere because the way it looks in pictures. But when
Yeah,
you ride up on it, you're literally in like this big ass city.
yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was
I was
blown
not
away.
expecting that. I mean, it makes sense for a music venue, but the way it looks, the way it felt, it did not fit the location. So, and people are saying, I'm seeing all around comments like in multiple places, why can't they save Bobby Mackey's? Well, the place is leaning. Like it's just you walk in there and everything's all wonky, and it's not just the high EMF. It's like the structural problems that they're having. And if they want to continue to grow as any business would, I mean, even though Bobby Mackey's in his 70s now, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, um, to take care of the business. So, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're cool, Cat.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear
Okay.
you
Y'all didn't say
loud
nothing.
and clear.
Figured y'all were reading, but
I was looking, trying to figure out. I thought we had some audio issues. I heard some, but maybe
is
I
it
did.
on my end?
I don't hear it now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, and it was doing it like I filmed at Bobby Mackey's live with YouTube. I didn't have audio issues at all. I did have some like internet issues, but that's because we went in the basement, right? Wasn't my
Yeah,
phone,
Yeah,
but sitting right here, I'm having audio issues. Evidently, I don't know, and the router's not, but like 15 feet, maybe 20.
look at that. Our cameras make
Mm-hmm.
it dark. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Let's see. What kind of?
Oompa loompa doopa dee doo.
I ain't even gonna try to figure. I am not even gonna try to figure that out.
yeah.
We just
It's
keep talking.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a
I
nice
mean,
sunset filter.
I can go
I
over
guess
there
it
and
is a
get
filter.
that light.
You can go get it, but hell, we can't. Neither one of us hook it up. It's all right. It ain't no big deal.
Can go over there.
Oops.
People don't really need to see us anyway.
Yeah,
We
We
can
don't need
see you.
to scare nobody away.
Is
So
Brittany still having issues to get on?
it's what she messaged me when I
she
went
just
out.
messaged right here and said they were working on it. Yeah, Angel, we got to have a little studio update. We've had them out here twice this week working on the internet again, so hopefully we won't lose it tonight. We shall see. I'm not going to break. Knock on it, boy. Knock on it. Let's tell them what might happen. Oh, laptop's about to hit the floor. That's good.
You let me know when to stop.
Yeah, stop when the laptop hits the floor. That'd be great.
Okay.
I bet you
I'm kidding.
rattle that bag.
Uh-oh.
All right, I just sent V the link. Evidently, when I sent it to him the first time, it didn't go through.
Sweet.
Awesome.
All right, let's see. I think I see Brittany and Ethan in the background there. I don't know if they're paused or not. I think they're paused. I'm gonna wait for them to. Oh, they ain't paused now.
There they go.
It's like freeze.
Break frame.
I think they are paused. Their internet might be messing. They must be way in the mountains. You reckon?
They are. They are. I'm in the city, and they're kind of up in the hills and hollows.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's bring
Hello.
Brittany and Ethan on. Let's see if we can get them. They keep pausing.
Hi.
I thought I heard something. I don't see you yet. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Somebody's got to get on their tiptoes and stand on one foot. Uh-oh, V's outside with a fire lit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, V.
Can
Yeah,
y'all
he's
hear
got to be
me?
fancy.
Yeah, but look at the V.
Move the well, the camera's on the wood pile, but that's about it. We're
Is
trying to
it?
get the little bit
Yeah. What's up?
other way. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I threw a little wood on it so I wouldn't have to get up and stoke it.
That's what my old man does all day.
Yeah, I
light
love
there
sitting
where you guys
outside.
are.
It's what?
It's light there. Damn.
Oh, yeah, it's still light out.
Over here, we ain't that far away.
Yeah, well, it's probably coming here in a few minutes then for us because y'all are only 2.5 hour drive from us. So
Yeah.
So Brittany and Ethan, their screen's black. Is it the internet? You think?
Oh, our screen's black?
Yeah.
We can't see you. Yeah, I don't see you.
So ours is showing. So
There you go.
Oh, she's live from the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's weird. So.
I'm glad we're the only ones that don't struggle with internet.
Yeah.
No,
Can you
Yeah,
guys
we're
hear me
fortunate.
fine?
We're fortunate but unfortunate with 5G, I guess you could say.
Am I sounding all right, or is my audio cracky?
Okay.
It sounds like me when I talk. Not
Okay.
cracky though. It just
I'm
sounds
on network.
Yeah, it sounds fine. It's not going to really change because you have your headphones and it's just our phones, I think. Like,
Yeah.
That's myself. That's cute.
I'm not going to blame the phones because Samsung is incredible.
Oh yeah, I do all my content pretty much from my phone except for and our video quality, guys, this time on our phone is much better than it was last time because he figured out the proper settings for that. It's a little too HD for my liking. I like a little blur, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a bit crisp.
Yep.
Can you see yourself better now?
Yeah. That rings on the TV screen, darling.
Oh, shit. How about now?
Yeah,
I see
that's
that
better.
big booger in your nose now.
God,
Good.
I got it out.
People are probably signing in and out like, what in the hell is going on?
Oh, it is brighter. Okay, cool. Dang, that thing is bright, man.
Oh, the fire?
On up, Angel. We're moving on up.
Moving on up.
So Brittany and Ethan, they're having some issues. It's still black.
As long as we can hear him, I think it'll be all right. And if V leaves, my daughter is leaving here in the next like 15 minutes, so he's got to send her off. So if he steps up and mute and steps away, that's why, guys. But he'll be back.
Gotcha.
I'll be back.
I hear you, Arnold.
Sorry, I'm a nerd.
It keeps glitching in and out.
Is it really?
Not you, for Brittany and Ethan.
Oh.
They're here too.
Oh, hey, Brittany and Ethan.
Oh, I know
Wow.
it's messed up.
Is that Verizon? Can you hear me now?
Mm-mm.
No.
It ain't pulling it, girl. It ain't streaming very well. We hear you. It sounds like a robot with half an alphabet. That sucks.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Riley and I were talking about it a little while ago. It's been a week. So we went live last Thursday night.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so we went live last Thursday instead of Wednesday. We pulled in the driveway at 10 minutes to 8 last Wednesday night on the way home from Kentucky. So I was like, dude, we've been in the car 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we stopped, got gas, ate once or twice, it was 12 hours. It was a haul.
Same for us.
Yeah, it was a haul. But anyway, I don't regret it by no means. But so we've had a week to think about it. We have we kind of fast forwarded through our videos. When I say fast forward, literally in fast forward motion, nothing really stuck out, but I'll tell you, we got some heck of EVPs.
Oh,
Awesome.
absolutely.
I know you guys, have y'all had a chance to go through anything?
I have. I've gone through quite a bit actually. Like I had 75 gigabytes of footage just on my phone,
Yeah.
not counting the night vision. And I'll tell you something really fun about the night vision that I didn't know. It shoots lasers, and it shoots lasers at objects like that are in motion, like people.
Oh, wow.
And so there was quite a few times in the footage that I've looked through. I haven't told Chastity this yet either, that I have found the lasers trying to hone in on something that's not there.
Ah.
Yeah, so we might have a
That's
few of those
awesome.
to show off soon.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I haven't been able to look at the footage because he still has all of it, and I have to make space on my phone. It's 75 gigabytes.
Yeah. Not enough for you.
So,
Yeah.
oh no, my
Yeah, but
phone will
it's in
handle it.
pieces.
Oh, will it?
Oh yeah, my phone will handle it. I just got to move over some things. Our phones are like little computers, so all the editing, everything that you've ever seen me produce has come from my cell phone.
Well, that's good. You got a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell Brittany and Ethan we'll try it again. I see them back. Let's see. Cross your fingers and
I hope
toes,
it
everybody.
works.
Come on now. If we, hey, can't we push something their way? Let's go.
Working.
Hey,
Oh,
Oh,
you
oh,
are audible.
oh.
There's a picture. Wow.
We got a picture this time, yeah.
We're close.
maybe.
All right. It's a little
I
lag.
can hear
but I think
you.
it'll work. Yeah, I think it'll work.
All righty.
Hey, y'all.
Doing all.
Hey, y'all.
We might have to have some interpretation, but we see
Yeah.
Yep.
Just write
They
it
can at
down
least
and
see
point it
y'all.
at the camera.
you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, I haven't seen any of the footage on my end. I know we all took footage, but I do know how I felt while I was there, which I've talked about. But it was one of the heaviest places I've been in so far. But granted, I've only been to besides my own hauntings and stuff like that, my house has never felt quite like that. Or I've been in people's homes that felt like that. That dizzying feeling you get when you're in Bobby Mackey's, specifically if you're sensitive to the very least EMF, is something that I found common among like high energy, high portal places. Or places with high EMF, and that place had high EMF. Like it was on yellow the whole time. I've said this Monday too on my live with Lights at Midnight, but I mean it was crazy. And high EMF can cause hallucinations and all kinds of stuff and health problems. But the stuff that happened there was intelligent, especially with the Estes method. And Greg so I tried it out first. Mine wasn't loud enough. I hardly couldn't make anything out. And they kind of just didn't really want to talk to me. It didn't make a lot of sense, and I heard stuff, but it just it wasn't like Greg's communication.
Yeah.
Like when between me, we all kind of asked some questions, but there at the end, I don't know. I kind of locked in on something at the door. And I had already had these stabbing feelings. And Ethan and Riley were the closest to the door. And Ethan had to walk out because he felt like he was being punched or stabbed, or that pressure on his chest like I felt. I felt that way from the get-go. And I had to stay in that. I wasn't sure how long I could hang, but I was like, you know what? It's something trying to push me out of here. Because I think me and Greg got cussed out the most this time.
yeah, I got cussed out
Yeah.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't get cussed out a single time.
You're part of the darkness. Be quiet.
I was
kidding.
surprised, honestly.
But yeah, Brittany and Ethan were awesome to have. They were feeling stuff and all. That's all I was going to say. But they felt stuff. We all felt something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
we
was,
all had a little something happen.
Yeah.
I think our a question that Riley and I have talked about several times is, and we did our live, but we didn't give away nothing the other night other than a few things we were experiencing, because I knew you and V, y'all were going to be working on another hell of a video. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So we're looking forward to it. 28?
I'm hoping. I have
Oh,
a
you
class
gotta
the
work.
27th.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm finishing up my class and the video. If I can go through this footage and find what I need for the video easy and then just put it all together and then add the sound effects and the transitions and set up the storyline, I'm going to try to knock some of that out this weekend. But my main, like, both of them are goals, right? But the class is due when the class is due. There's no moving that back. So I have to get my class done first. But the 28th, excuse me, should be the day that I drop the video. And if not, it'll be the following Friday because I only drop on Friday and I only drop at 9 p.m. It just will throw me off my every 4-week thing, and I'm not trying to do that.
Gotcha. So this is to all of y'all. This is the V, you Chastity, you Brittany, and Ethan. Riley and I were talking about it. We know, but first off, I don't know, and I didn't ask, have Brittany and Ethan ever done any paranormal investigations? I mean, the way they were moving around and recording, I was like, heck yeah, we're rolling here now. You know, so we felt
They
good
were
about
on it.
Yeah, they were on
Yes.
it. I knew B was going to be on it. I've seen him in action at Henry River. I wasn't worried about that. Him and Chastity, they y'all got it. You know the it, y'all got it. So,
well, thank you.
It's just going to get better from here for sure for y'all. But,
20
definitely
years of
feels
watching
divinely
paranormal
led.
content. If I can't do any better than that, then I should just quit. I watched it for 20 years. So it's just like mimicking. You're watching and you're repeating and you're hoping for better evidence, you know?
So the only difference in all of us is going to be, and I've already seen how y'all operate too, and what we always say, we're not going to fake it. We're going to, if there's nothing there, we're going to tell you. And I think you guys are the same way. So we value that.
100.
We've been to places and put a lot of time in it and money and you name it and got zero and hated to say we got nothing. Well, it kind of makes you feel like you're a failure if you're in that business and you've had to say 10 other people say just how much activity there is there, and we get nothing. I'm like, man, are you kidding me?
We suck.
Yeah, we suck, buddy.
It's nothing to do with sucking. It's about if they choose you, if they choose to interact with you.
No doubt. So
It's
have they investigated before?
I don't believe so. I think that was their first. Oh,
Nick, she can talk. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know you could talk.
You're fine. We haven't never actually done an investigation per se. We've both had our own hauntings and we've both dealt with things. And with that, we've always been intrigued by it. And when I seen Chastity was wanting to do it, I was like, I've always been interested in Bobby Mackey's and I don't want to miss out before it's gone. So we jumped on it before it was gone.
Absolutely. That's a piece of history.
We were impressed. So I mean, we definitely, naturally, we'd take everybody, but we'd like to keep going with y'all. I feel like we had something good going. So
yeah, I thought it was a great thing.
Yeah.
If there's something there, and even Brittany, I mean, a lot of us on this, everybody has the ability to be intuitive, right? Everybody's going to sense or feel something unless you're completely closed off, which there are people like that. But I can say this, if there's a place that's haunted, even though, you know, you might not get any evidence, what V was saying, sometimes they don't want to interact, but having somebody that can pierce through that and see, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. The activity, you know, at Bobby Mackey's, I knew what to expect, but not really. But when I seen that energy, like in my mind's eye, walk through that door when it became dark in that place, I mean, they just swarmed. They were like right up on us.
See that
they
I didn't go into detail with that, and I started to watch that video on my phone of the Estes during my lunch one day.
I watched it 3 times.
And look, as soon as it started, I got chills and I turned it off. I hadn't even watched it. I don't know.
Man, it's something.
Very, very unlike me to not. We've watched all the video, but he and I together have not watched that yet. I don't know why. We just hadn't. But it just, I don't know. I don't know. I listened to what Riley said was going on, and I was like, man, are you know? it was just wild, I think.
It was darkness. That was a taste of darkness. Not to say that we haven't all experienced that. Every one of us on this screen, and Ethan, I know for sure, because I interviewed, the way I met Brittany, well, me and V met Brittany and Ethan was at an event, like one of the pop-up events, like kind of like the paranormal one, but for crafts. And we started sharing stories, and they ended up coming on my podcast and the first season within the first 5 episodes. And everybody here has experienced something paranormal at some point. So, and we've all experienced different levels of darkness. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not saying what I didn't do, because it's probably obvious to the people that's been watching. Things that I said I was going to do, I didn't do, because I know better. I know my limits. I have no need to push for, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but I have no need to push for an audience. I have no need to push any boundaries. When I feel something that's dark, I have boundaries, and I respect those boundaries too, because I started getting kind of sassy with it in a way, because there's certain things I don't put up with when it comes to stuff like that. And Greg, if you haven't watched it, I'll put it to you this way. I was seeing the things in the door, and behind me was 2 of my guardians, and I felt them come in. And the reason you got growled in the earphones is it was saying something. I didn't like the tone it was going. It was trying to like be sassy, and my guardians came in, and I said, "You see my guardian standing over there, right?" And that's when it growled at you.
I'm telling you, and I've seen some things and heard some things, but it was a bone chilling. It wasn't like a dog growl. Okay, it was.
No.
I don't know how to explain. I'm getting chills.
Getting
chills thinking about it. And it's
Yeah.
Like something you'd hear in a metal song.
Man, maybe yeah, but it would have to be real raunchy. It was deep. It was meant to be heard, and I heard it. And I was like, dude, okay, you got my attention now.
I know how to put it into words. Lead singer of Disturbed, that man, the lead singer, when he goes deep, the whole rock thing, yeah, it made him sound like a baby.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Were you guys able to record the sounds that were coming through your headphones while you were doing that?
No, I should have. I had the ability, and I didn't. I just in the heat of the battle, I didn't. I don't think about it, but I should, because that's not the first time we've been asked that.
Yeah, we might want to add that to a checklist.
Yeah.
So one of the pieces of equipment we have now, one of the spirit boxes, you can actually 2 people can do Estes at the same time, and it's got a output where you can record it all. But
nice.
That was the equipment that was broke, and it was waiting on us when we got home. But it won't. It didn't help us at Bobby Mackey's. But that would be great. So let's just say me and you, Chastity, or whoever, were doing Estes at the same time. We both would hear the same thing, or you can split it on channels where it actually scans 2 different frequencies, and we hear different things to the same.
It could work with both of you.
Yeah, but like you said, the cool part is being. We lost Brittany and Ethan. The cool part is being able to record it, for sure.
Yeah,
That'd be neat.
Yeah, definitely.
We lost Brittany and Ethan again. I hate that, Brittany.
Oh, there's Ethan. Let me get it back.
Oh, there we go.
All right, there you go.
Is the visual quality better?
Yes.
Oh, it is much better. Yeah.
I'd have to come really close to that phone.
No, they're perfect.
Oh wow, that's a lot better.
Nice.
I don't know what you did, but it worked.
Ethernet cable.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Direct plug and play.
Yeah.
So I was what we were questioning, and this was the question that all y'all, especially you, Chastity, because I know you were getting some messages before we ever went. Something that you said they knew we were coming. So I'm curious, how were the feelings before we went versus when we got there? How did y'all feel?
So As a lot of people or some people may not know watching, I channeled in Bobby Mackey's a month or two prior to even stepping foot in it. And I already knew that there was something dark there. I can't honestly, I mean, because I do so much now with the stuff, I need to go back and watch those 2 episodes myself fully. I'm sure some people in the chat might know right now more than me, but when we channel, we don't always retain. That's why we record it or write it down, because they're not of our own creation. They're coming in from a divine space, depending on who you're tapping into and what you're doing. And when I work with that kind of energy, that's how it flows in through my guides. So I already knew there was something very dark there. I picked up on that with Carl Lawson, and the possession of Carl Lawson. And I saw a being that walked out of a blue and black swirly portal, and it was black and it had white eyeballs, and off of its skin was like black smoke, almost like it was charred without the detail. Like there was black rolling like smoke coming off of it. And I already knew we were going to see something dark. I was expecting to feel the pressure and the pain, but I wasn't expecting to feel it in almost the whole entire space. Like I didn't say much, and I've said this maybe, but I didn't say it then and there because I didn't want to acknowledge it. But as soon as I walked through those glass door or that mirror hallway, and I went out into the near the creepy corner in the bar area, it hit me like a ton of bricks, like just pressure, took my breath away. And I had to I had to deal with it. And one of the times I went to the bathroom, for some reason, I had to use the bathroom a lot, I guess, because of traveling and just sitting. But I had to tinky like every hour, TMI. But the point is, one of the times I went to the bathroom, I almost vomited.
Oh,
Yep.
It was
There's
that
another-
dizzying and that sick. And I know, Brittany, you got some stuff too, right?
It was very disorienting, and so I didn't say anything when I was there because it made me very uncomfortable. But when I glanced in those mirrors, the only thing I seen was my eyes looked darker than normal, and so I did not look in the mirrors when I'd walk through them because it just gave me the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
But when I got the first half of the building was very, very disorienting. The back half, I would get sharp pains for some reason in certain places. There would be several headaches downstairs that we had and stuff, but it was just very disorienting just being there.
Oh yeah.
Like scatterbrain energy.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get a concentration on anything.
Very hard to focus and
I experienced that quite a bit. And also on the way up there, me and Chastity picked up a rental car on the way. We smelled the thick smell of alcohol in the back seat, like an alcoholic was sitting in our back seat with us.
Oh.
And neither one of us drink, and we haven't picked up anybody that drinks. So unless somebody spent the night in my car, I mean, that was pretty interesting.
Wow.
I had something come to me and say, "We're going to meet you there." And it never turned out to be anything as far as I know. Like
unless it was your guides.
It's possible, but I'm saying it's probably it was probably there and I just didn't realize it. Like I felt too protected, like way too protected because
you though.
I'm sorry?
The REM pod was only answering you.
Yeah, but see, like even with them touching me, they were extremely obedient to everything I was telling them to do, which is definitely out of the ordinary. It's kind of like they had something over them going, like you can't do that.
That's very weird for that place because just think of how many paranormal investigators or just people in
Think
general
about how many Ouija
been in
boards
there.
have been done.
You know, they've heard it all. Spirits there have heard it all and seen it all. But that creepy corner really had your attention because you couldn't stay out of it. Me and Riley noticed that. We were like, something's got his attention, whether he knows.
Because that's the one place that nobody really wanted to stay in. Like out of all the videos I've watched, I've seen several like big time paranormal people go in there and freak out. And my deal was to go in there and see if something would work with me instead of trying to freak me out. And it was. I mean, that's my goal. I'm not afraid of these things. I want to research. That's the deal. I want to like find out what's going on, what makes them tick, what's making them want to keep messing with people, you know?
Yeah.
That's my motto. My motto is I don't need proof that the paranormal exists. I just want answers. But at the same time, it's
Exactly.
like,
That's a good way
when
to
does
do
that stop though? And I reached that point. Could I have went down there in that basement? Yeah. But what they did during that Estes method, it wasn't worth it.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No.
What do you mean?
Nope. The Estes method, like what I saw, like did
What
anybody
was
else
coming through?
see? No, what I saw with my intuition, it was a little
So
much.
right before we turned off the lights, I seen in that little in between room, it looked like a shadow, just a straight shadow went against the wall to the door. Like it wasn't like I didn't see a figure, but it was just a flat shadow whoosh to the wall. And then as soon as we turned the lights off, that's when you seen it come in the room. But it wasn't a shadow for you coming in the room.
Mm-mm. It was
I've seen a
multiple
few things,
things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were
but
the
Yeah.
same, but it was multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Father was doing the Estes method and heard that growl, and then something hopped in the floor in front of me?
Yeah.
oh
Because
yeah,
I
that
saw
was
it
the
crawling.
flashlight
I
or
saw
something.
the beam crawling on the floor, and I said, "Y'all, it's in the doorway." And that's when it got real ominous. And that's
Oh,
when the wording with the Estes method changed, and it started getting
Yeah.
kind of cocky and like getting to a point where I wasn't scared. I was on alert because of the work that I do, you know, and the type of stuff I've dealt with. And I sat there and I just stared at it, and it was getting cockier and cockier, and like I told everybody, I said it's on the floor. And like I said that, and then on the Estes with the growl, it crawled in, whatever come through. Like I think Brittany saw the same thing as I did. She just perceived it differently. That's
Mhm.
normal. That's normal with psychic abilities. People are going to perceive things
mhm.
differently, and depending, sometimes I may only see a black shadow. There's always something behind the black shadow. Trust me, most of the time, not all the time. But yeah, yeah, I mean, you can watch that video. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what happens. I said it's crawling across the floor, and then the device goes off at Riley's feet. And then
Yeah.
Ethan, during that time of those things standing at the door, because they were there for a tiny bit before I even said anything to y'all. They were already there in the darkness. And then Ethan got his like chest pains and stuff, and he had to go outside, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask him about that on more than one occasion. He felt some tightness going on.
Yeah,
And I've had that feeling too, but I didn't have it there. But I've
it was
been,
a good bit of tightness, like on my right side of my chest. It felt like something was trying to like push through me. I don't know. It was a weird feeling. But the second time it happened, I tried to like wait it out to see if I could withstand it or if it would just go away, and it would not go away until I went outside.
that's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah, I've heard of things like that before. And it's worrisome because first thing you think is, oh my gosh, am I having a heart attack?
Yeah,
Are you
you have
working?
a medical emergency here.
Yeah. So, yeah,
It happened to me in the creepy corner too. Like I had something try to grab me by the heart from behind while the spirit was messing with the REM pod. And I mean, like I said, I just asked it to. I told it it's not allowed to touch my body, leave my heart alone, and it let go instantly. Like it's more of a like you got to remember when things like that happen, you have to demand them like and make your boundaries because if you don't set boundaries, they're going to do things to you that you wouldn't want done.
Sometimes that works, and sometimes it don't. It's not like that for everybody. I mean, and that's just from experience. Like you can command and demand, but it is different sitting in here. I'm in my, like doing my astral work. I'm here in my space, right? They can still mess with me, but they're coming into my space and they're not allowed. But when you go into their space, yes, you still can be firm and you can say stop. And sometimes it don't happen like that. Sometimes you have to leave, and it's a good thing that it did with you. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying from experience, that's what I've had happen. That's a great thing. So
I'm
you need to be the
definitely
demon
saying it.
whisperer.
it's a suggestion. Like if you have something like that happen again, I would at least try to do that to see if it gets you a good result.
100%. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that, like, sometimes, like, I've had things do that to me and try to make it stop, and I could push it off, and I would say my guides, ask for divine guidance and come in, but I don't. Sometimes it won't, and it might be how open I am. Maybe it's the way I'm going in there and having to kind of let my guards down too. There was another question. Oh, I had something similar happen. I think we caught it on video. I'm going to say, I'm just going to be my teaser. I'm going to save it for the video, but I can say this, besides the pressure, I had some more physical things happen, at least 2 or 3 things physical that happened. This isn't the only thing. It was wild. And we have night vision this time too, like 2 night vision cameras running basically almost the whole, well, not the whole time, but almost. So I'm excited to see how those work because I hadn't even
I had
seen
some
them.
trial and error with that. There's a couple, like a little bit of footage can't be used because my necklace come out and it started touching against the body cam and was making a lot of scraping audio noises. But you
Yeah.
live and you learn. That's something that I'll do better next time for sure.
Yeah.
So I had our Phasm, our recorder, and our Phasm night vision lights set up when we did the Estes in that room of faces. So it's called,
Yeah.
And it immediately, after like 30 seconds of recording. Now, keep in mind we've been recording for like 3 hours already. All the audio is perfect. Get down there, 30 seconds into it, it records but loses audio.
Mhm.
And it's unexplainable to me because I come right home and I charge it, charge everything up and it goes to working. So I feel like there was more to that than what we could see too. That,
Yeah.
Hey, my
legit-
body camera turned itself off twice.
Huh?
Yeah. We were just standing there in the middle of the tour and you heard it said goodbye. It just went off
Sorry,
like
that's our
that.
train.
Oh, can y'all hear the train? Apologies,
Hear
I'm
that?
not using the shotgun mic.
Riley's like, yeah, I hear it.
Yeah,
Now he's got
I should've-
goosebumps.
it's train inception because I hear it out the window and then I hear it on here and I'm like, there's Melinda.
I used to hate that train, but I'll be honest with you, that it's like sweet joy to my ears now. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she is here. All right, well, I'll
Mhm.
be back in a sec.
Okay.
All right.
Leave your video
Let's
on in
see.
case there's any ghosts that want to say hello.
That'd be
Okay, I
awesome.
got you guys muted.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need some camera flares from that fire or something. Come on, give us something.
Yeah, there you go. Lean it down. Down more. We need to fire ASMR. Not that way, dummy. There you go.
Dylan said there's always a train when Raleigh's around.
Look, y'all don't take no offense to that because if y'all knew me and V behind the scenes, Brittany and Ethan got to see it. So we mess with each other pretty hard.
It was
Oh
fun.
Thanks, Dylan.
yeah. He's heard it all. You ain't gonna bother me with the train.
I would just like to take this time now to apologize to Brittany and Ethan for all the stuff they had to listen to. I'm so sorry. I had just the craziest energy. Yeah, that's my official public apology. There you go.
It's perfectly fine.
Going to make the walls bleed. Well, guess what? They bled.
Yeah, Riley was telling me about that, and I didn't quite understand it. I figured I'd save it. I heard V say that before we left, and Chad said you were like, "Stop it, V, just stop it."
I got mad.
V was provoking a little bit, which it sounds like.
I don't play around.
I mean, the energy of that place was kind of provoking, anyways. Like it was a little bit agitating.
I would agree with that, 100%.
I wanted to. I could have let them hear something, but I held Chuck Collar
He
back.
did good. He and I talked about it. I said, I don't think you'll have to provoke here. But but now after if we'd have been there and nothing was going on, I'd have turned him loose. But I'm glad we didn't have to.
Yeah. Because I'm mini Zach Bagans.
Oh, I wouldn't tell nobody I'm him. I mean, damn. Anybody but him. We'd like to have his bank account, maybe his checking account. Other than that, nothing else. Here's a museum. We'd pawn that stuff off quickly.
I can't say the joking name that me and somebody that I don't know. Well, she probably don't give a fuck. Emily called him.
That's awesome.
I can't say the joking name we call. Well, I made up, and then she has her own, and I have my own. But let's see if I can somehow figure this out. We call him Zach. Let me rhyme these words. Bilbo
Oh my.
Saggins. We call him Zach Bilbo Saggins, but rhyme the Bilbo with another word.
Okay. So the fourth letter in the alphabet. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he can be a DICK sometimes to people.
Yeah, he can.
He can be hateful, but we say it jokingly.
Look, as much as we talk junk about him, we still watch him.
Yeah.
And his ratings are still high. If they were not high, he wouldn't be on TV. So hey,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
He was actually where I first seen Bobby Mackey's. So.
Me too.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't even know he'd been. Well, I did because Laura said Zach was a dick. What am I supposed to say, dick?
Yeah. You're fine.
I said fuck. We're far enough into this. Cuss words about don't matter as long as they're not flying out left and right.
That fire is pretty. Look at that.
Yeah, it is pretty.
So
we're blessed to have a little space back there to do that. I have like a little behind that. There's a little walking path. I asked him to kind of clear out for me because it's wooded and there's just a fence that blocks like two big sides of a goat farm, but it's in the woods. And there's a little circle back there that he made with wood all the way around it for me. So it's a meditative area. So every day when I have a reading or anything, I need to ground myself. I just walk out and there's a bunch of walkways. That's all I know how to say it.
That's awesome.
That's cool. I like that. So I was going to say something and we'll touch. Lost her.
Yeah.
She might have to go.
I did it.
Oh, you didn't pee. You done it that quick. So
it was me.
When we were doing that Estes, I'll tell you, I don't know if you heard me, and I talked about it last Thursday quickly. So I've done the Estes quite a few times, but I don't know what was different other than location. That's the first time I've ever done it where the words come through. Sometimes we get nothing, but they came through. It seemed like I don't know how close the words were, but the more we got it, the more we were getting words toward the end, the faster they were coming. It was like it was like that. It was leading me down a path. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like it had me and it had us all.
Yeah.
And it was like it was toying with us. That's how
and I didn't like that. That's why my guardian showed up because of what it was, and I started boiling. I'm chill. I'm calm. I'll always try to be that way, but I have a very short fuse for shit like that. And I was like, it was like a pit bull.
Well, see, here's the problem with me now is I ended it. When I heard the growl, I was like, okay, that's really all I need to hear. And the problem with me to the day I die is, dude, what if we'd have kept going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if is a killer. Because I'm curious, where were we going? So I didn't see nothing. I couldn't hear nothing. I didn't see nothing. And the funny thing, I didn't even know y'all turned the light out until it said something about the dark.
The dark is better.
So the dark didn't mean crap to me. I didn't realize the lights went out. Oh, it said the dark is better.
Yeah.
Well, I like the dark better. I don't something.
It said the dark is better because V literally turned off the light. Like he turned it off, and to get like that shot just for a bit, just to get a little, dark shot while you were doing it. And I just felt it. I felt the energy growing. I felt it because we're inviting it by doing that.
That's what I was getting, but I didn't know how to put it into words that it took me somewhere I've never been before. In a way where I'm usually in control, but I felt like I was steamrolling out of control because I was getting faster. It was manipulating me like a puppet. And I didn't like that feeling, you know. But looking back, it was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. And I wish we'd went just a little bit further. But
Right.
we live to play another day. That's what Bobby Boucher says.
It almost felt like there was going to be a spiritual battle up in there, the energy. I don't know if anybody felt that. I don't know, but when I felt my guardians behind me and I saw them in my mind's eye and I'm like, oh, snap.
He said the same thing, talking about he felt like it was a spiritual battle about to go down. He was thinking the same thing.
There was about to be a war because they were on us and it was already affecting, Ethan. It had already affected everybody almost in some way. That energy comes and goes. I don't think that dark energy, and I mean, it's something pretty nasty. Like, I'm not sure if it's the same energy I picked up from Carl Lawson. I don't think it's the same. It could be, but it's probably at very least one of the things that's associated with it. Because there's
you guys join us on YouTube if you can. Instagram cuts off after an hour. So
yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut into you. What were you saying about Carl?
Oh, I was just saying there was a portal. You're fine. There was a portal in the room that Carl Lawson got exorcised in. Or rather delivered. He wasn't. Yeah. That wasn't an exorcism. That was a deliverance. There's a difference.
I thought that was the monster stage.
Yeah, that was that. That's the room he got delivered in. And I see him in that video pointing to my Lord. He says, "My Lord, do you see him?" And I watched the portal in my mind open up and that thing step out. And it was a dark shadow in my vision. But what I saw, I mean, even before you asked me this question and I didn't finish it, but I will say this because I forgot. But even before we went to Bobby Mackey's, I was seeing people with black eyes before. And I can't remember who I told. I know I told some people in here, either V. I may have told Brittany. I told somebody. But even at my client Beth's house, I was seeing things with black eyes. They would be people with black eyes. And the things that I saw in that basement had black eyes. And there's some other things that come through a certain device that I'm going to say for the video. But just know that that was kind of validated without me even saying it out loud. It was validated without words. Maybe. I don't know yet. I'm pretty sure, though.
Yeah.
And Brittany, you said you saw your eyes darken. And in my visions, but when we were reading Bobby Mackey's, I was walking down that hallway of mirrors and I saw like a girl that tried to look like Pearl. But I knew it wasn't Pearl. It was something else. Literally sitting here, if I could explain to y'all about how that place kind of seems astrally, think about the upside down with the strings. There's just like these spider strings everywhere. They're just black. I don't know. It's weird.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
So Riley and I we're judgmental. We're judgmental, and I say this might not be the right word, but
what happened, Brittany?
What'd you say?
Our camera's dying.
Oh, okay. I could tell something. Didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw something was going on. Well, do y'all want to say anything before y'all, or can y'all plug it up? Y'all got any stories you want to share real quick?
We could swap phones and try it on mine, but one of the things I was going to say about over there at the monster room where Carl was delivered, when we did our EVP session over there, his is audibly messed up and mine is missing. I've went through all of my stuff and it's just gone.
Wow.
And I don't know where it's at. I know I had my phone doing it. I think on the camera you can see me holding my phone, but it's gone. But yeah, no, There's a lot of activity up there. Up there, it also said fight during one of our when y'all had the spirit box up there. There was fight energy up at the deliverance area before we made it downstairs. It was already trying to stir it up.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It was
it did make me irritable a little bit. Like, I mean, when events happen, I get in these modes where, like, I need to get stuff done. Like, I'm just that kind of person. Like, I get hyper focused and things need to happen. And that's kind of what it takes sometimes to be a person that's ahead of events to get stuff done. I've got that personality when it comes to stuff. So, but it kind of extended that a little bit where I was getting irritable. It did make me a little irritable. I mean, I'm only human, but it did. And I
Wow.
mean, that's just kind of part of this stuff too.
what was that, V?
Almost got set on fire.
Oh,
Yeah. A piece of wood
Please
popped and
don't.
it
Not
like
on
flew up
live. I
at
don't
me.
want to go viral that way. Please don't.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I got water.
stop, drop, and
Okay.
roll.
Yeah, I got water.
Yeah, they stop, drop, and roll, but don't drop on top of that fire pit.
That would be my luck, wouldn't it?
That
It won't be the
yeah,
first time. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
I sure would.
Autumn said something. She was talking about the black-eyed people. Did you say you visioned black-eyed people there or before we went?
Before and then with the people at the door, there were
Oh, the
kind
mirror.
of people. Honestly, they kind of look like rakes.
We
They
lost
kind of
Mhm.
look like rakes, like the white beings with the black eyes. But I don't know if they were actually rakes. I'm getting that same pain in my head that I got at Best talking about it.
I seen what you were talking about. Like they got ribs showing and everything.
Stop.
Very skinny, white, pale, like buggy type eyes. Like their eyes are big.
yeah.
Something's working on you now. So we're stirring it,
Nah,
ain't we?
yeah, I couldn't see it while I was at Bobby Mackey's, but I seen all kinds of stuff after.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I didn't, and I guess nobody has experienced anything, and nobody's brung nothing from there. Me and
Nothing come
Riley,
back.
we took it serious. We were like, man, you ain't going with us.
I laid something on them before we left.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
good.
really
And
hate you
another
guys left
thing,
early. Sorry.
is, these things don't have to. They can mess with you interdimensionally. Like,
Mhm.
I have not had that pain in my head since I was in Kentucky.
I don't doubt that.
I don't just randomly get pain right here. And I know there's probably some people in the chat that helped me throw that out, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you. But I literally had to like put on my light balls, put it up, and pull it out of my head, like with
I saw
energy.
you
They're
doing
like
that.
energy threads.
I
You
saw you. I was
got
like,
light balls.
here.
Yeah, you put them on your. I mean, that's just part of healing. If you have any, I mean, a lot of people can do this whether they realize it or not, and it's just something that I've practiced with. And you put, light balls on your hands. Basically, you can imagine them or you can ask for them. If you're a healer, oh, y'all back. Hey, awesome. And, you just put it on parts of your body. You can try to help like clear out your own energy that way, but it's always helpful to have somebody else do it. But yeah, you can just, it was like pulling out a thread or pulling out energy. You do that and you start having pain out of nowhere, is something.
Autumn said white face cryptic or mole people.
Like it
Yep.
almost looked like a rake, Autumn. Yeah, it almost looked like a rake, but they once were people. I don't know all the stories. Like I don't know all the stories behind like really. I don't know the story behind the rake. I know the story behind Bigfoot and stuff like that, but I haven't even made it like deep into cryptids yet. But it feels like maybe they once were people or they were facets of a person.
They're people that went feral, according to what I've found. Like, there's not a lot of research on them. It's just like mainly like sightings of a unknown type feral humanoid.
So Riley and I, we spent probably the majority of our time upstairs, of course, in that room where I guess the pool tables, kind of in that area,
Yeah.
facing the creepy corner. So when y'all were in the basement, we thought about this after we got home. Did y'all go in those dressing rooms
A
downstairs?
little bit, yeah.
Any action there?
A little bit.
Kind of.
What did
We
y'all
didn't talk about it.
experience?
So for us, we didn't get too much in the.
What was the lady's name? What was the dressing room? What was it?
Joanna.
Yeah, that one. 'Cause I
V,
know
mute yourself, dear, if you're
Okay.
not talking because it's picking up traffic. We can't hear you, Brittany. We could barely hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Might have to talk a little louder, yeah. That
Um,
was good. I can hear you now, dear.
Mike, I have the thing plugged
We lost her.
No, she's still there. I could hear her when she said you couldn't hear me, but when she
Giving
started
instructions.
talking, I can hear you better if you speak a little louder.
Yeah, I can hear you.
She's giving instructions to Jamie Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, down there in the dressing rooms, we didn't have too much activity. It was a little bit unsettling. Like I did get a headache, and I think either the third one or the second one. It wasn't Johanna's room. It was one of the other rooms that I got a headache in. But we didn't get too much, or at least on my EVPs that I've reviewed, I didn't get too much activity down there in those. I didn't get too much activity in the well room either. I don't know. Did y'all have any activity in the well room?
Not really.
We didn't. I didn't have. We talked about it. We were that was a little disappointing, but I feel like that room is part of somebody's show. A portal to hell.
Yeah.
That's the first place you're going to want to go if you're into it. But
Yep.
it
I
didn't do
agree with
anything
that.
for me. I'm not saying nothing isn't there, but I really after I even thought about it later, that the room we did the Estes in, the room of faces it just makes sense. Let's just say if you were in any kind of negativity going on back in the day in history in that place, and you were going to do harm to somebody, you'd go in that room because
There's
nobody's
most
going to hear.
definitely a portal there.
Yeah, nobody's going to hear anything going on. That concrete thick walls.
3-foot concrete.
Yeah, I don't know how thick they were. I'm just saying nobody outside's going to hear anything that's happening. They could leave you in there for days and nobody would know. That room was the negative room for me, without a doubt.
Yeah.
No,
The room
no
of
water box
faces.
busted, Dylan. We didn't have any water issues.
Thank God.
Yeah. It was that portal. I say the portal, that portal to hell room, whatever they want to call it. I found a little what somebody. I think it was you, Brittany. You might have made the comment that the little room behind it may have been used as a jail cell at one time. That was kind of interesting. The little brick room.
Yeah.
And the stairway that went nowhere. I have no clue where it went. Did anybody look up in that stairway?
Actually, we all did.
And D went up in there.
Did we ever get something about the stairway? Did somebody ever
I
get
know.
anything?
When I watched Paranormal Files, it looked like they went through the stairs that had a floor on it. Now, maybe it was a different set of stairs, but those stairs, it looked like they led to somewhere at some point. But we went in behind it, and then we found another set of concrete stairs that were leading to nowhere also. Like in a crawl space area. Like I got all that on film too. Like we'll make sure that gets in there.
That was what Brittany and Ethan and V did together, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
What did y'all think about that, Brittany and Ethan?
So that little crawl space area was very interesting to me. It looked like the doorway would have been further back, which was very confusing to me. It's like it looked like those stairs would have went up to where the Hall of Mirrors meets right there at the other part. Like
Mm.
those went up underneath there is where I'm thinking. And I don't know if they built the Hall of Mirrors later or why that would be there with the Room of Faces has a further back concrete wall, so I don't know why that would have been back there and then they had the stairs further this way. It's very confusing to me. It's
Right, it just didn't make sense.
yeah, structurally it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think that place has probably been added on hundreds of times. You
Yeah.
could tell. I mean, it just nothing was thought of. It was just added on.
I do have a recording on my EP where the gatekeeper paranormal lady, when she was giving us the tour, I think her name's
Laura.
when she was giving us the tour, I have one recording in particular that's her explaining all of the different buildings that it had been from like the Bluegrass Inn and all of them. So I need to find that and write them all down because it was several. Like the biker bar, she said the name of it and everything, but I have it in one of the recordings.
Awesome. I might have to hit you up for those names. I think we got it, but I can't remember. I don't retain. Like I'm a book smart kind of person in a way, but when there's so much stuff going on and I'm tapped in, I don't retain crap hardly.
Mm-hmm.
Faces, I remember your face forever. Names, not so much, but I will say this on YouTube, because all I have to relate to people are their names, it's easier. But yeah, if I was to ever meet, like, I know y'all's name, obviously, but if I was to ever meet anybody in public, God, I'm so horrible with remembering names.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, off subject.
Guilty.
Off subject, Greg. I need to come out there. I got to have some of that Biscoff cake, man.
Oh man, I love that cake.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anywhere. I have no clue now. Y'all may know, but in our area, I don't know where you can get a cake homemade, decorated that pretty, and taste that damn good for $35. I'm just telling you. And you know that cake was still there when I left this morning. To be sure, I don't. Did she cut it up? So if she makes 2 or 3 cakes, if they don't sell that day, the next day she'll cut it in slices and sell slices. But I should have got one and I could have ate it in front of y'all.
You should have, because I drooled. I know. Obviously, I like a little bit of candy, okay? I like a little bit of sugar. But I'm going to tell you something. My daughter all she's talked about since she was probably 9 or 10 years old was opening a bakery and making cupcakes. So I told her, we're going to have to go there and try some of y'all's donuts and some of y'all's cakes and some of y'all's stuff, because she's excited now. So that's all she's ever wanted to do. And now it's like, I didn't correlate that. I'm like, well, guess what? Our friends that we go ghost hunt with, they have a bakery too. So, was that what y'all call it officially?
Sugar-coated bakery. It's my daughter's idea. You know, all out of the blue, she was like, I'm gonna start baking. So she started baking things and putting it in the coffee shop. And she's like, she was about to get out of college, fixing to graduate. She said, I'm gonna open a bakery. I said, go for it.
Yay, that's awesome.
So she's done it, and so far she's almost hadn't been a year yet. She's not burnt out yet, which is good because she puts in long hours. I mean, she was there at 4:15 this morning. We were there mixing donuts, getting them ready. So, it's just and Kinston is tough. Any business is tough in Kinston. It's tough to keep people supporting. So she's doing great. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a beautiful place, and anybody that's near the area, if they see this, y'all go check it out, because I haven't tasted anything, but if it looks amazing and it has to taste amazing. So one day we're going to come out there, but I just wanted to say something about that cake because it looked great.
Well, when y'all decide to come, you tell me when you're coming, tell me or Riley, and we'll make sure you'll have some of that cake.
Okay,
pick
I
you up.
appreciate that.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
So I got to ask the question. So Riley and I, we ducked out probably, I don't know how much earlier than y'all. We had to be done at what? Start packing up at 1:30.
So we had to pack up at
Right about.
1:45, and y'all left about 1:35, 1:40.
Yeah. So what's the ins and outs? So, we decided Laura not to give us a bunch of history other than the things most of us have heard before.
Mhm.
But so what was the deal? So what's the deal? What did we miss?
We got, I mean, me and her just had,
Except
she
for the
was,
bleeding walls.
look, and I mean this with much love and respect when I say this. She told us a little bit. I honestly, nothing that was too much. She was more interested in hearing what I had to say. So I ended up,
what you had to say. She kept
she wanted to know what I had to say. So that's how we spent the next, and we stayed there till like 2:45 probably, or 2:30 at least, talking to her. So me and her were talking. Yeah, so while me and her were talking, Brittany hung out with me for a minute, but then all three of them were over there still basically like taking pictures and getting some extra B-roll, and it
We
wasn't
went
in the
through all the
basement, but
memorabilia.
yeah, they just looking at
cool.
stuff. So we had an extra, and I don't think she probably treats everybody quite like that, but she was really nice to she gave me a little information, but it's nothing substantial, and it's honestly something I can't even remember. I was so tired. It's on video. We recorded all of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So, I mean, I'm gonna, I could send you over, that clip. I could probably give you a link and upload it to Drive and send you over that clip.
Go around that to that
But
corner.
some of that stuff is going to go on Patreon. So we have
It's
so
an
much
hour and
extra
45
footage.
minutes long.
Me and her talked for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest recordings I have.
That place was like a time warp.
I just set it up and let it roll while we went through and caught some B-roll and memorabilia stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that place there, like, I wanted to do more, like, by the time we all got, like, because I have to go in and I wanted to get, like, sections done. I had this vision of how I wanted to shoot it, and whether or not that's going to work, I'm not sure. But, like, I had to go through, I wanted to feel the area, get some shots, explain what happened, what I'm feeling. And by the time that happened, I was trying to catch the live with Down South and say hey to everybody. But by the time I got back up, that was done. And we didn't really get to investigate a whole lot together. I felt like it was pulling us apart.
Yeah.
It felt very scattered, and it was very hard for me to channel. Even though I channeled a little bit, I'm actually disappointed, but I've already channeled in that place. Like, I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to get. It's different in person, but you can only get so much channeling. Like, so I'm always disappointed. I'm hard on myself when it comes to my work. I'll make a podcast with Emily. I'll be like, that sucked. And Emily's like, it was fine, girl. I'm like, we'll see. And then I watch it. I'm like, oh, it was fine. It's fine. So I'm just hard on myself. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's the first time I heard you say that, but I actually had the exact same feeling over me that we were trying to be split apart, everyone.
Yeah.
Like, and I got that the most in the basement when I was by myself. Like, there was definitely something trying to make me feel uncomfortable. And I think I was down there for about 5 minutes, and then I heard everybody like go outside, and I was like, well, they're coming back down, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out. And when I did, I could feel this like pressure behind me the whole time, like trying to push me out of the basement. Like, and whenever like we were around each other, it was so hard to focus on just one thing that's going on. Like, especially like during the tour, like while we had the tour, there was so much like energy going around. It was really hard to like stay on task. And I mean, I have some like minor issues with that, but I'm gonna tell you that's something that I noticed that was above average, like the whole focus thing and the scatterness of it all. Like, I've never been to a place where I felt energy quite like that. I don't know. I just thought I'd add that, but it's interesting. You said that you felt like people were pushing, or I mean, like we were being pushed apart.
Yeah.
I want to add while we was all together, to me, it felt like it was far more heavier for some reason, like especially during the tour in particular. But while we were scattered apart, it was like it didn't know who it wanted to mess with the most. But when we all were back together, it was just so chaotic and so much energy. It was hard to focus, but it was so much more pressure and energy while we were together. It was
Maybe
wild.
maybe it was trying to get us all together because kind of makes sense now with what you said. So when Riley and I were upstairs, y'all had gone downstairs to the basement. We didn't know that. So we just kept Spirit Box running, and I was getting cussed at. I was getting F-bomb dropped at me. I was MF this, MF that. It was kind of wild. And it all of a sudden it come through as clear as it's like it called me by my name, but it come through and it said the basement. I looked at Riley. I was like, okay, what's the deal? Is it wanting us to go to the basement? And it must not have been 30 seconds later. It said the basement. Then Brittany, I think you come walking up. I think you may have heard it say. It said it 3 times. Did you hear it one time?
Me and Ethan did. We were over where
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
We were over near the monster stage area, like room.
Oh, okay.
And we could hear it partially, and Chastity and V were in the basement, and in my EVPs I did catch it said something about need someone before it started saying the basement, and then
It did say need someone. It sure did.
and then it started saying the basement stuff, and then when Chastity came back up, it got wild.
Yeah, see, we didn't know. We were just over there in our own little world, Riley and I. We didn't know y'all were gone. But now I'm wondering, with all that being said, was it trying to get us to the basement to take us on that ride it took us on when we finally got to the basement together?
It's possible.
Jinx.
Because it was taking us somewhere, and we'll never know now. It's my fault. Where were we going? I suck.
You suck, Greg. You suck. Why'd you have to quit?
I know, right?
It's fine. I mean, my main thing, if I go on paranormal investigations, I'll never push anybody except V.
Yeah.
Read between the lines.
V's like, yeah.
Because I can't do the other on YouTube.
I'll never push anybody to do that. And I mean, that's obviously,
She'd push me
half
downstairs.
Yeah, I beat on him regularly. Yeah, that's what he tells people.
She hits me, y'all.
Oh.
She hits me. My
I about
kids
spit
hit
out
me.
my drink.
I go to work and
Y'all are
people at work
crazy.
hit me. I'm talking to you, Tayshawn.
I do not hit him.
Vay,
I
I'm
beat on
sorry.
him.
She hits me.
Vay, I'll set her straight. I got you, brother.
He's gonna hit me
Somebody
behind
needs
my
to,
knees
because I
and make
don't
me
know how
fall
much more
down.
of it I can take.
He's
So
gonna
we
take
did
my
get-
knees out. I see it.
Yeah.
We did.
Babe,
get
can
some-
we continue this conversation at the top of the stairs?
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Oh my God! All right, they've had
Actually,
enough of us.
Yeah, I'm done. That's my joke around for the day.
That's sad because like 20,000 people just heard you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we were
Brittany and
best
Ethan sitting
friends
over there
for
dying
almost
inside.
13 years before we ever dated. So we've been dating for like a little over 9 years. So we kind of have a different dynamic to our relationship, I guess you could say.
We're not your typical relationship. Definitely not.
I
But
don't
it
think we
works,
would have
and that's
survived
what I'm
this
good for.
long if we wasn't friends first.
That's probably why it works.
Yeah.
We're friends before anything. Even 9 years in a relationship, we make sure we maintain our friendship as much as we
Most of the
can.
time.
Yeah.
Until I
Life
push
does
him down
come
the
into that.
steps. I do not do that, y'all. He's lying like hell.
Yes, you wait.
Anyways, back to Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah, that's enough. Oh,
So-
awkward silence.
So, what stood out to anybody Is anybody surprised about anything that happened?
Nope.
Nah, I won't surprised about anything.
The feeling. I've been to places. The feeling was for me. I mean, I felt that feeling, but not in such a fast way.
I think what was so profound for me was the fact that I'd watched all these other YouTubers do all this stuff, and then like I already knew the things that weren't true before I even got there, and it just pretty much was like a gigantic confirmation, like getting there and finding out like this isn't what they say it is, but what they missed. Now that is something. They missed it all by making this stuff up, and you know, I'm 100% with Greg. When we're doing this, we need to be about truth. We need to be about what is facts and what we can prove and what can be tangible, not about making stuff up for the show, because there are people that are just as curious as we are about this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What did you want to say, Brittany?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh yeah. I was gonna say
Brain fog.
Yeah, I had brain fog the whole time I was there, so it's not surprising I am talking about it. But the ballroom or gambling room back during the Latin quarters that had the creepy corner in it, that room was definitely the heaviest to me the whole time. I don't know, like I've heard people talk about it being disorienting. I got nauseous in between the pool tables. That was something I did experience in there, and mainly only in that spot. I only got nauseous in one other spot, I believe. But when we went into the money room, because we went in there for a minute, it drained our camera battery so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much full whenever we had went in there,
and within 5 minutes it was gone.
No, the footage. I actually reviewed the footage today. It was only like 50 some seconds before the camera died after recording. As soon as we went in there,
so it sucked our battery out in there, and we didn't really catch any EVPs in there. But while we was in there, y'all was having some more activity with. I believe y'all had a light. It was one of y'all light things.
One of our Phasm lights died. That last 3 hours, it died, and everything was charged. It lasted maybe 2 minutes.
I believe in EVPs. I could hear like y'all was having something going off too right when our stuff was dying, and we didn't catch much in that room, but when I touched the board, that was one of the first times I've ever had a mind's eye vision of an apparition of somebody, and to me, I fully believe that it was somebody that used to work in that safe room. I don't know for sure, but like it was like a young male that I seen in my mind's eye, and it was clear as day though, and he was like in a button-up striped shirt. It was really interesting.
That's cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, we one of our on the EVP. One of them we got something about need more money or something when we walked over there one time, and it come through just as clear as day.
Yeah,
that was during the part of the spirit box we were doing, but
yeah,
we got so many, and it doesn't always happen like that a lot of times, but we probably got more conclusive EVPs there than we ever had.
Something called you a bitch on the portal.
Oh, I got cussed at almost like Chastity did at Henry River. And another thing up there in that creepy corner, man, something kept hitting the REM pod just enough to get my attention. I was being toyed with, but when I walked up there and tried to make communication with it and get on the same level, nothing. V comes up there, and I told you, I was like, dude, it won't have nothing to do with me, but there's something in that corner. And he tells it to touch that REM pod.
Like 4 or 5 times.
And he says, stop touching it. And it quits. I mean, we've seen it happen before, but whatever it was, it didn't want to have nothing to do with me.
Yeah, when I was sitting by the portal talking and trying to get communication going, and father walked away, and he finally came back. When as he was coming back, I heard something say, "He's back."
He did. You can hear it just as loud and clear. It's stuff like that is amazing to me. And you know, it's not fake.
And the fact
you can't fake
it's
it, you know what I'm saying?
consecutive.
Yeah, and it happens.
Consecutive is important.
It's not a radio frequency. It's not. I mean, it is, but it's not words on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just
Exactly.
the chances of it happening, and certainly you don't hear nobody get called MFer on the radio. You know.
Oh, and multiple places that we've been. That's crazy.
So I'm just, those things that's conclusive. It's not, it's anyway.
I'll still never forget Henry River Mill, when that one ghost come through with that southern accent. It was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way.
It said, it squealed. It went,
oh yeah.
And later on it went hog.
After it
And I'm
called
like,
you a pig.
Yeah.
I felt targeted. I'm sorry, but I did. It targeted me.
Yeah. It did it again at Bobby Mackey's.
I would have bet any amount of money that we'd have got a spirit on the XLS camera, and we didn't get anything. I did record it. I usually forget to record, but
there was so little time there.
Yeah.
Like if we could have started like a couple hours earlier, we might have been able to think a little bit more on setting certain things up. But it just soon as we got there, it was like we got to hurry.
I didn't even follow. We had a whole list. It wasn't cohesive. Like we could think, but it was just like something would happen, or we were getting something, and we'd get stuck somewhere. And going in there, I've had people say, particularly one person say, and I said this Monday, there's like, well, if you're really a psychic medium, you don't need all this equipment. I said, that's for entertainment. You're right. I don't need any of this equipment. I don't. It's for entertainment. And that's the whole thing. People want paranormal investigations. I'm running a paranormal investigation, a psychic paranormal investigation channel. And, that's part of it. And some people don't like the phone apps. Well, I have other things. I don't know. There was so much stuff we could have done, but we didn't do, but we got evidence. And I think that's what matters, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm a huge skeptic of the phone apps, but I'm going to tell you here recently, I've seen a few things on it that have me like wondering. There's only a couple things in my mind that I can think of, like maybe the audio listens to you and picks it up. But then there's things that if you just think of, it pops up. And I got my own since then and tried it privately and gotten some pretty unique things from it. So I will say there is definitely something in those apps, even though they're just apps.
Well, a lot of times you'll find out, and I'm surprised we didn't have to have it there. You go places and your spirit box won't work if it doesn't pick up any frequencies. So where a phone app will work. So it's good to have it, because we've been in places where we couldn't get no radio signal, but you'd get a phone. Lost V. But like Duran said, the equipment helps validate what's going on to people who are not seeing what you're seeing, Chastity, or feeling what you're seeing. That a lot of times that validates it for us people who don't see what you see.
Right, and that's important. I'm not saying it's not towards us; it's towards some of the viewers. They're like, "Well, why is she using this equipment?" Well, it makes it more interesting, in my opinion. It makes it more fun. I want to paranormal investigate. Just because I'm a psychic medium doesn't mean I don't want to play with the tools. Like I want to play with them too.
I think it's
cool.
We need toys too,
y'all, because you're light. I know being with you on an investigation, we're going to get a lot more than we would without you, because what the light shines. What you're putting off is what we're not.
Well, we all put out light, but I think it's also too the type of work that I do. Particularly because I work in the realm of the paranormal. Not all psychic mediums do. A lot of psychic mediums stick to like just relative channeling. I do paranormal cases, so those types of dark things know what I do. I'm surprised it ain't said my name yet because they know my name. Like, oh, and that brings up the point. All of us, I think, heard this. I know, Brittany, you remember the phrase specifically. I was at the actual stage. Y'all were over there at like the secondary little sitting area where Carl Lawson had his deliverance. And I heard on the portal box, which takes out all the static, which is why I love it. Like, it's crazy. It gets craziest intelligent responses from it. It said, what did it say, Brittany? Bring in the light?
Yeah, I was there. I was sitting right in front of the portal.
It said to the light.
To the
To
light.
the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And that's what was
light.
happening. Say again?
And then it said the light like 2 more times throughout the session.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, that's another thing, part of the question I was going to answer, but got sidetracked. One of the first questions you asked me, Greg, was like, what did I see? Well, I knew there was a spirit trying to get out of there. They wanted me to bring in like the light and help cross them over. And I told all the spirits before we left, I said, you're not stuck here. You don't have to stay here. You know, like, this is a choice that you're
Right.
making. Some people, now, in fairness, every situation with every individual being or entity is different. So some of them are in the dark because they need to heal. Some of them are learn their lessons, spiritual reparations. Like, some of them they've never lived or breathed. The
Yeah.
dark thing, I think there's one dark thing that's never lived in Bobby Mackey's, at least, and it's kind of ruling the roost, and it comes and goes. It's not always there, but
Yeah.
it's got minions.
There are also things there from opening Ouija boards and not properly closing them. I picked up on that instantly before I even seen a Ouija board, and the fact that there are things there, like what you said, that was trying to leave. There were some that were desperately trying to leave. Like, they would run past you, like you could feel it, like a rushing, like they were trying to make themselves known.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I've not had a place call out like that in a while. Like, but Bobby Mackey's was definitely, even though it wasn't what I expected, it was most definitely, it gave me the reaction that I was hoping for anyway. Like, at least with a bunch of stuff, because I mean, there's a lot of people, I've seen things they didn't get anything. They
Oh,
went up
yeah.
there, paid all that money, and got nothing. So
Yeah.
for us to be blessed enough to at least get that much activity, I count that as a super win for all of us.
And I
Yeah.
think honestly, Spirit gave me this name, and they told me I would know what to do with it. Here's something interesting. I think I've said, I don't know who, it could have been on live, but our Appalachian Nightmare, I was laying in bed almost asleep, and I get downloads like this sometimes. And this was back in May of 2023, precisely May 10th of 2023. And I get this name, and Spirit's like, write it down. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I said this Monday. I'm like, okay. And I write it down. They're like, all right, now get the Gmail. The Gmail wasn't taken. So I've got our Appalachian Nightmare Gmail. The Instagram, TikTok wasn't taken. YouTube wasn't taken. There's nobody else. Just like, well, there's other lights at midnights, but there's no other luminary luna beams. These
It
are
was meant to
given
be.
directly to me by Spirit. And I think I'm meant to do this type of work. Like, I know that making a cool video does help, and following the rules. And like, I worked really hard on that video, but I also did a lot of research to try to make it the best as possible with what I had. And, I know I can do better, right?
Go
But at
big
the
or go
same
home.
time, when you're meant to do something, things happen. Just like we were meant to meet, just like we were meant to meet, and in mine, and how can I do this? Mine and V's astrological chart, part of our purpose in a relationship was to find like spiritual, to work spiritually together. If you read the synastry. So I think, it's very interesting. I've been manifesting paranormal investigation for a long time, and I've been doing my lunar manifestation, right? And that's when I met y'all.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
submitted a story to y'all's stuff. Then y'all invited me on. I didn't know what y'all really did. I just had joined the group randomly to find people in
so
my
cool.
area. And then here it is, like manifestation. And when it's meant for you, it works.
It's amazing how it works like that.
Yeah,
It
we were
really is.
all always meant to go to Bobby Mackey's together. So that's how
Yeah.
they know we're coming,
From
because
birth.
it was already set before. And that's the thing about understanding how time really works.
That way.
You know, and like there's potential. We knew each other if you believe in past lives, which, you know, people might say, well, find this hard to believe, but there for a while I had a hard time believing in reincarnation just because of the things that I learned until I've experienced things, you know, and had experiences and stuff. But I don't
I
know. I
still
think it
have
was meant
trouble
to
with
be.
that.
And that's okay.
No, yeah, it's a journey, and you learn. I mean, as
Hmm.
you go, and I'm trying to like figure it out just as much as everybody else. I
Hmm.
mean, spent 25 years studying religiously studying the Bible and like different versions of it, only to find out, you know, none of them are correct, and just it really could throw you in a whole world of things. Like, and then like you have these experiences that are outside of what the Bible tells you you should be having, and then you try to talk to someone who believes, and then you're shunned for it, and you're made to feel like if you talk or if you talk about it, it's wrong. Like you should just
Right.
ignore it and make it go away. And that's pretty much what I've been pushed with my whole life when it comes to that aspect. Like if I seen something, oh no, you're just seeing things. Don't worry about it. And to like see that kind of validation come out with all this, it's like it's helped me like come out and really be who I am.
That's good.
Yeah, I haven't really had an opportunity to be who I am in a long time. I've always had to be somebody else for myself. And
Right.
like
Yeah.
this right here, it feels right. It really does.
Well,
It
that's
feels like
good.
what we're meant to do.
Everybody needs to have a purpose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and feel, and like you
I,
said, feel good about it and
you know, I
enjoy
like
it.
Jordan Peterson is a guy I check out quite often. I've read a couple of his books actually, and one of his books don't have chapters. It's got rules, and one of his is or it's not a rule necessarily, but it's more like a saying. It says it's your right to happiness, but it's your obligation to find meaning. And that to me is profound. It's like you can do anything in this world for small time gratification, but you'll never be happy until you have that meaningful purpose. And I believe me and Chastity found it.
That's awesome. I know Riley has. Riley struggled for a long
Mhm.
time after his accident to find a purpose in life. And hey, you know, I
I
can't
agree
be
with that.
this all-star baseball player, full ride scholarship he was getting. You know, that those days are gone. What
Them
Yeah.
Lord,
spirits like
what am
you.
I going to do? You know, it's hard to find
Yeah.
something when you've lost it all. You
Hmm.
I
know,
agree
you
with
start
that.
over.
That's how
So
I
yeah,
found this. I almost lost everything. It's just like meeting Brittany and Ethan. Like I personally felt like when us four met, we already felt like, I mean, it just felt like kindred spirits in a way. Like we had a lot in common and we just kind of hit it off, you know, like me and Brittany and Ethan and V, we've only met each other in person a couple times, and I felt comfortable enough to share a hotel room with them on the third time I met them. You know, like
I felt like
Yeah.
I knew him my whole life, just
yeah,
yeah.
about.
I was comfortable that y'all wasn't gonna hack us up or nothing.
And we wouldn't us know. We thought y'all had known each other from childhood. You know,
Right?
y'all meshed that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, very
I
kindred.
I still want Ethan's autograph because he's a spitting image of Jamie Johnson.
so can you sing like Jamie Johnson? That's the next question.
He's a pretty damn good singer. I'll speak for
Ah,
him on that because I don't know if he's going to give a positive or negative reaction. I'm just going to go ahead and say I've seen him do it.
ah.
He can do
Now,
good.
now you got us hooked.
It's Jamie Johnson.
I know he's a hell of a cameraman.
Uh,
He plays instruments too. Don't let him be too bashful.
Ah, yeah. Riley, you on
Yep.
something, but
I told you.
your mind's eye's working, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got one up on me. He can sing and play at the same time.
Yeah, and I had to make Taco Bell today, Chastity. My third eye's working.
I bet so.
Oh my God. I don't ever want Taco Bell ever again.
I'll still eat the cantina menu. Don't fuck around with me,
No.
okay? I want my
Never.
avocado sauce.
That bean burrito, boy.
Oh,
I
keep
stay away from
that
the bean
Chipotle
burrito.
ranch
I ain't
away
fucking
from
around
me.
with that.
Yeah. That bean
Oh.
burrito had Father Lincoln.
Yeah, it did. I told Riley.
That green burrito opened my third eye right up.
Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
did. It did. And it dawned on me. I was like, dude, I have finally opened my third eye. It was against my will, but I know how to open it now.
And it was
Taco Bell.
painful. That ring of fire third eye.
I died a little bit inside when I heard that for the first time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
They said that ring of fire third eye.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh man. That Johnny Cash third eye.
Yeah.
Oh.
I shouldn't, I want to say something, but it's kind of blasphemous and I don't want to be rude to other people, but
It'd be all right.
Let it roll.
baptized by the Taco Bell holy fire. You better calm down.
Baptized
holy
by the
ring of
Taco
fire
Bell.
right
Holy
there.
shit.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Boo. Peekaboo.
Poor Taco Bell. We're hurting their ratings.
Yeah, everybody.
No,
Oh.
it's so addictive to some people. They'll be back.
Yeah, we just made like 5 people want Taco Bell just by saying
Yeah.
that.
I'll eat
At
Taco Bell
least.
right now.
I kind of
Thanks.
Yeah.
want Loco Taco now.
Craving.
Oh yeah, cheesy gordita crunch.
Oh.
Right now, 2 of them.
We can go if you want to after this.
I'll take a chalupa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Well,
Mm.
I
That's
guess.
what you say after eating Taco Bell.
Autumn Moon put an eyeball, a brown eye. Autumn Moon put a brown eye in the chat.
Oh, God.
The Illuminati.
We're gonna have a t-shirt design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Chastity I was gonna make a honey hole into a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
That was, I don't know.
Look
I
at
think
that.
Riley was
Oh,
there for
man.
that live. That was my birthday live, and I'm over here working and doing readings, and these 40 and 30 and 20 and 60-year-olds are talking about honey holes and fucking
We were
all
giving them
kinds of
hell, weren't we,
craziness.
Riley?
I was there.
I know. He
Yeah.
was there. I guess y'all have seen the hot Tui girl today, spreading everywhere. The hot Tui.
Oh yeah. Dude, I saw that, man, and then I saw like 20 other TikToks with it. Like that was hilarious.
It's
I sent it to you, Chastity.
Her mom and dad's proud. Y'all look it up. You'll find it. It's like going viral today. Oh yes.
Oh, you know it.
Everywhere.
There's been full remix songs of her stuff now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Chastity. I
Yeah.
was on that live that night. Remember, because somebody said something about what did you just say? They were talking about all the guys.
The honey hole.
Whenever
Oh, that
they
was Rochelle.
said that, whenever they said that and your skirt blew up, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I said, Chastity, readjust your skirt. We can all see the golden arches.
Almost.
Oh.
I had to go back. I had to go back and zoom in really far, and I was like too close for comfort because there's a blanket. Like I have a blanket that is right here, and it was black, so I couldn't keep it.
On
Because
that
there
note,
was a
I'm gonna
blanket
stoke
right
this
there,
fire.
so it looked black. So it just, obviously, I didn't want people to get creative online and then say that I was, flashing people. But it was close. It was a close call. That
AI,
was
man,
funny.
AI was
Close
pretty
call to
sharp.
say the least.
Yeah. Story of my life. That was my birthday. It was loud.
Ow.
Well, guys, I'll say I'm sure we'll still be talking about Bobby Mackey's for a while.
Yeah.
But Brittany, Ethan, what is your collective thought of Bobby Mackey's?
Well, my initial thoughts are kind of gave me the creeps initially. But being there, it's a place that you should treat with respect if you ever decide to go. But it's not something. It's not a place that I would say that you shouldn't go to just because of
Yeah.
the hunt.
I can
Yeah,
agree
there's
with
a lot
that.
of good there.
I'd have to
Oh, yeah.
agree with all of that. And I would say be aware of the disorientating. Like I didn't say that right, but
Disorienting.
the disorienting feeling when you're going through the first half of the building. That's like I know that the building has its own energy too, and like entities do play into it. But
Yeah.
a high EMF on the first half of that building that is very disorienting as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never experienced that in all the places we've been. That was the
You know,
first one. And I
I
still
wonder if that has something to do with the power grid.
I
Yeah.
think partially, just a tiny bit maybe contributing, but it could be the energy that's feeding off of them because we're constantly near. And I mean, granted, these power lines were like huge, they were big metal ones. So I can't rule that out, right? When I use the apps, when we got out near those power lines, they would set off like it would if I put them next to my tablet. So I can't rule that out, right? But I can say this because that's going to be part of what I tell people, but I believe from what I've experienced, what I've seen in the intelligent responses, because we got so much intelligent responses that it can
absolutely.
validate
Absolutely.
through
Yeah.
portals, which are they're not hooked up to like, what are they hooked up to? The radio, basically?
Mhm.
Our spirit boxes, they're hooked up to the radio. We don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
It's literally skiing through stations. It told me and V we were going to die, and we're like, when? It said soon. I mean, it was answering back to back to back to back in the creepy corner.
Yeah.
You don't get that very often. I noticed that, like where it's super consistent, they are directly there. They are letting you know, and they're not letting it be like they're not doing it in a nonchalant way. Like
Yeah.
they're definitely trying to make sure you see that, hey, we're here. Like they're not. The hardest part for me was to try to figure out what they were wanting. What makes them want to, have this activity? What makes them want to go through that? Because anytime I would ask a question like that, I'd get some silence. Like anytime I would ask any kind of leading question that would be like a origin type question or like a why are you doing this type question, like it would just be silence. Nothing.
Oh,
There's a dark presence there that collects
I agree.
human energy, meaning that it doesn't have to be a whole soul. It can be a fraction of a soul. Even like mimics are these types of entities, in my personal opinion, that go around. They really don't have, like, they may have a true form, okay, but they're really just energy, and they literally like pick up the energy. It's called energy shedding. I don't know, maybe people talk about this. I personally never heard of it. It's just a term I've started using for energy shedding. Think about how many drunk people have been up there, all the emotions, getting down, singing. Music invokes emotion. There's just layers and caked of emotion it literally stacks up in the corners. So what better place to get people that are low vibrational to lose a piece of themselves and in turn gets enslaved? And this is crazy, sounds crazy, I talk about it all the time. In turn to get enslaved by darkness. There's literally human souls that exist that are enslaved by like masters that create these liminal spaces. That is a form of hell. Okay, hell might not exist, but there are even descended human spirits through this. It doesn't always have to be a demon. Human spirits can demonize. That's what I've learned, and it's very interesting because as a human, we're powerful. I mean, we have power beyond like. I'm just a person, right? And I say this, but how the hell am I remote viewing to places I've never seen before that I describe to people? Yeah, it might be a little wonky. Sometimes it's backwards. Sometimes it's in reverse, which is really interesting. And it might not
that
be
happens
just
to me
like
a
it.
lot.
Right. So how are we doing that? That's because consciousness, you've got to think of in terms of like the only way that I know how to like even begin to explain it, and I'm not a scientist, is quantum like theories and stuff. What is it called again? I know one of you guys probably know.
Quantum
I forget.
entanglement.
Yeah. You got to think about it like that because we are energy. I mean, our atoms are vibrating. We are frequency and vibration and color. Color really don't exist unless it's, light technically. And light and color mean stuff too. I mean, color is perception and colors. I say this all the time, was the first two things that Spirit said they mean more than you really realize. Putting your
every color
perspective.
has a musical note.
Yeah, it has a vibration. It has a frequency.
Mhm.
It has and you have light energy too.
Mhm.
So ultimately, Bobby Mackey's is definitely haunted. Does the power lines contribute to that haunting? Very possible, but it's also important to know the effects of high EMF, whether it's supernatural or not. There are effects of high EMF, and it can
And
bring in hallucinations. But what ruled all that out for me, even though I seen stuff, if I could not get that evidence of those responses in those boxes that were intelligent, then I could have said, hey, it could be the high EMF here that's causing a lot of this, even though I know things everywhere's haunted. Spirits come and go a lot of times where they please, even if we have blocks put up. Sometimes they just come in and out. I mean, there's no place that has not been has been untouched. Maybe certain places if they're highly spiritual, but if they're highly spiritual, the spirit is there. The spirit in the realm sits in our realm in a way. It's just like I call it the mirror world, and then there's multiple. It's very hard, and we have to take all this information and then just cram it down into one thing, because then you get people that want to argue, well, this, and this. Well, yeah, we can't look at the whole picture. As humans, we don't have that type of consciousness. We can talk about it all, but to really fully understand it, you have to break it down in segments. And then you start to really learn about what it is, your truth, because at the end of the day, we do create a reality to a degree. I mean, to a good degree, we create our reality. Even though we're all sitting here collectively doing this in our houses and stuff, our perception shapes our reality. And that's the most important thing. Our perception is key to, energy and, happiness or unhappiness. And it's part of it, and the one thing, a principle to understand is like tapping into your intuition and doing this type of work, whether it's psychic or paranormal, it operates on emotion. It doesn't always, you're going to operate on emotion, not just analytical thinking. You will never fully get the answers you need if you're completely an analytical thinker, because then you don't have the ability to tap into emotion, and emotion is directly related to your intuition. So, sorry, rant, spirit come in there a little bit.
no, you say what you got to say when it tells you to say it. That's the way this stuff works.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, mindset as well.
No, frequency and vibration is very important when you think about certain things, and it's not saying that like the activity could have been caused by the electricity, but possibly used as a energy source for the
Yeah,
spirits
yeah, because
themselves.
that stuff wasn't always there, right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, I was a little skeptical about there being no power turned on when we got there. She turned the power on. I was like, okay, is that going to cause an issue with us for the spirits being in here all week or all month or however long it's been off, not to have any power to work with? But that wasn't the case.
What'd you
Yeah.
say, Brittany?
I'm pretty sure that Laura had said that they had recently upgraded the power lines around the area too. Like it's not been that large of a power pole type of situation until kind of more recent too. But
Oh,
Mm.
I'd
but
really be curious to see somebody after's video, you
mm,
know, who went after us. I'm pretty
mm,
sure I left my crystal ball there.
Oh,
no.
Hmm.
I remember people hold it at some point, but I thought it was at the hotel room.
Yeah, I could have swore I brought it back, but it's not anywhere around anything. But
Oh,
I
Oh,
mean,
God.
that's how stones are. Stones disappear sometimes, and then they always find their way to someone who needs them. So I'm not very upset to let it go. Um,
yeah.
it, I got a vision of it, and if anybody sees this and goes to Bobby Mackey's, I think it might be sitting on the bar. So something's telling me that it's on the bar. Now, I never set it on the bar, but if it
Just
is, I
ask
would really be
Laura.
curious to know.
You
Oh
can
yeah,
just
good
ask
point.
Laura.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's just something I thought of like randomly that I knew about since about 2 nights ago when I went to get them and have them together. And so yeah, I just thought I would mention that because that wasn't the only object that disappeared. There was several things. Well, I found my laser cap lens uh,
mhm.
on the floor in the basement. I didn't even have my laser out. My laser was up with the rest of my equipment in the box. So,
Well,
I
something
mean,
could have stole it then.
that's exactly what I'm insinuating.
The
Like
only
there
Yeah,
was
I'm
thing
something
going
there that
camera
moves
off for a sec.
objects.
was upstairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only time I ever pulled it out was upstairs. So there's no possible way it could have, like the cap could have made it into the basement without something picking it up and moving it. And that's not something that any of us would have thought about doing, you know? So
Yeah,
it only leaves to something that is moving things, which is something that we are currently dealing with in our house.
you're
Could be
dealing
that
with.
it followed us.
You're dealing with.
Well, yeah, I have. It's been taunting me lately. Like now it's putting it right in front of me to show, hey, I really am here and I really am doing this to you. And
Well, there's a
it's
story
trying,
behind that.
it's,
There's a
there's a
story behind all
reason.
this, but I don't think it's a proper time to go into it. I
True,
mean,
that's
that's up to
another
you. It's
story.
your story. It's your story. You can share it if you want, but I'm just saying I don't want shit to start disappearing right now.
Well, I mean, it already does. It just happened a couple of days ago, and it does it with my lighter a lot too. Um, basically, uh, I was involved in a lot of stuff shortly after high school that was kind of occult practices, things in that nature. Not worshiping Satan or anything like that, but we were just kids, and we got a hold of some books that were not kid books, let's say, and they weren't your typical go to the library and check them out type books. And we tried some things, and I learned even at a young age, I knew spirits were real. So I should have known better than to do some of the things that we did, but we were curious, and curiosity gets stuck with you sometimes. So it's hard to get rid of things once they've been brought through. I will tell you that much. And then it's just a matter of containing. Like,
Right.
because if you can't get rid of it, you have to contain it. And the
You
only
have
way
to
you can
cross
contain
it.
it sometimes is to, yeah, but it's not something that can be crossed. It's something that was
Yes,
pulled
everything.
through
Wait a
from
minute.
another dimension.
Everything can be crossed and returned to the light. Everything. It doesn't matter because it's all in the creation under, in existence, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
okay if other
mean,
people have different opinions. I mean, it doesn't
I
matter,
agree.
but I think everything can be crossed over into the light, reabsorbed, and repurposed.
I don't disagree with you because I mean Yeshua says in the beginning that to um like that all people have, you know, sinned and fell short. So I mean everybody gets a chance, you know what I'm saying? And that should be
Yeah.
the same for things outside. But this book that was written like wasn't written to explain things spiritually, like in that nature,
Right.
like how much exists outside of that. It was only given to us to the only reason we're even allowed to read it is because it's a tool to keep us in line about certain things.
Hmm.
um and which sucks because if you actually read a whole lot of it that hasn't been messed with, like it's a great book. Like it has so many like values and things that you can apply to your life that really makes a difference. But the main parts of that have to do with the spirit and what you feel inside of you. Like if you call for Jesus, or I call him Yeshua, he is a real thing. I've actually felt him. I know he's real. Like he's been there for me and actually like been that comforter that the Bible says.
Right.
And there is no doubt in my mind. But to anyone else, I mean, I can't prove that no more than I can prove birds aren't real. I mean, that's something that you really have to believe before he will reveal. And it is the one thing that has been consistent with me and other spirits. When I see the spirit and entice or I am enticed to say something to it or make notice that it's there, that's when they start revealing themselves. I mean, it's all about how you approach it, I guess, because I've had many times where I've tried to approach things and got nothing, but I've also had times where I didn't want to approach things and had terrifying stuff happen.
Right.
Things
Yeah.
that would run you out of a room, and I would just stand there and look in just awe of disbelief. Like even to this day, it still doesn't feel real to me, but it's very real. Like
Yeah.
these spirits, like there are dark entities and they come after people that have light. They try their best to like subtly mess your life up and put you in a predicament to where you can't do for the spirit, because that is what the ultimate goal is, in my opinion, is like living for the spirit and living for one another. That was out of anything that I could have ever read in the Bible, the one thing that Yeshua said was the most important was love uh love this God, the most high, as you love yourself, and love one another as you love me, like as you love God, the spirit.
Mhm.
So if you live your life like that, not only will you become more intuitive, because caring for people is really what opens up that portal or to understanding. So
Yep.
the more you add like care and love and light to people, the more you will start to open up and be that care person, that caregiver.
You'll be
So you have
rewarded.
people on right.
Yeah.
You have people in this world that are hurting. They're suffering in themselves, and it's really hard to deal with, like for them, and they don't even know it.
And
Some
to
people are so
add, you have the
comfortable in it.
spirits, the dark spirits, some of them, especially human ones, they're suffering too. And
Hmm.
that's something people, don't think about. They're like, yeah, we want to kick its ass and get it out of here. Well, they're also suffering.
And
They're
they're
in
comfortable in
suffering.
it because
Well,
they've
yeah,
been in
you
it
can
so
grow
long
to
they
be
don't know
comfortable
anything
in it.
else.
Yeah. And that's what people have to understand in these paranormal investigations. And one of the things I found myself doing at Bobby Mackey's is like, I know this is probably aggravating. I get that. Y'all have had a bunch of people come through here. I was trying to be very compassionate, but that one thing didn't give a about my compassion or anybody else's. It was just pure evil. And there's certain things that are interdimensional. That, I mean, we are interdimensional, but I'm talking about from another place. Like a
Mhm.
place we're not allowed. I've seen realms of darkness, and it's different. It's different.
or
You have
different?
no idea some of the things that I have seen through vision and been shown and revealed to. Like, let's just say I'm very comfortable knowing the thought that those who are truly wicked at heart will really get what's coming to them.
Mm.
Because I've seen
Spiritual
something.
repercussions or
I.
reparations.
It's not a lake of fire. Yeah, it's not a lake of fire. You will get what you have tormented people with.
Mm-hmm.
You will get everything that you have coming to you. And the
Live
only
by,
way to escape that is to run towards the light and live with the light. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like everyone will go here, but this is a place reserved for the true wicked. I've seen things. I've seen what happens to people that do specific things, and it would blow your mind. And
right
even
now.
more so, I've been working with AI a lot to like create our imagery. Well, I do a lot of curiosity imagery too, and I seen some stuff that it designed that was exactly like some of my visions. It blew my
That's
mind,
wild.
and
That's
it's
wild.
really hard
Wow.
to look at.
Yeah, that's
Like,
wild. It's over our head too. Really, a lot of people don't understand it and won't understand it if they see it.
we
You got to
live,
keep thinking about it. You know,
yeah,
that's crazy. I get it.
we live in a spiritual world, and the more you are aware of it, the more they are aware of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either live in light and have the beings of light around you, or you can ignore it and let these things feed on you and take away, because that's
Yep.
what they're good at doing. I'm a character witness of that. Like, I've been a victim of things trying to drain me constantly.
Just come up with a bad ass shirt design.
Bring it.
Brittany and Ethan are over there with like they're little, I guess, bugs where y'all have your door open or you had your door open, but it looks
Is
like
it a
little
moth?
orbs just flying around.
Dude, I'll tell you. Speaking of orbs, we got one hell of an orb in that room.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Where the guy got exercise?
Carl Lawson.
Lawson.
Dude, we got probably the best orb we've ever gotten. It starts off tiny and it comes. He was sitting on the bench, right? And it comes right out of it, right across something. I can't remember what comes through the spirit box. It drops right. Looked like it dropped out of the ceiling, swirls around him, and it gets as big, almost as big as a basketball, a black blob, and it starts off the size of look like a gnat. And I don't know why we didn't see it when it was going on, but we got it on video. It's really
Yeah.
amazing.
I remember you telling me about that. I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to talk about, so I'll be very minimal about it, but I will say this much. At Beth's house, I had more orb activity than I've ever gotten on camera. And
Oh,
we're
wow.
talking about thousands of different orbs traveling in all kinds of directions, and they're all specific too. And there's dust, but the orbs you can tell specifically are orbs. I can't wait to share that with you guys. I'll definitely let y'all see it like before we put it out.
Cool.
At least the part with me and Chastity sleeping, because that's where there was a lot of activity in the bedroom where we were. Which,
I bet.
if I'm not mistaken, it was the most activity in the house was in that room, I think.
So,
But
y'all cleansed the house, right?
Mhm.
yes,
And it needed it.
yeah,
There's
absolutely.
some things, I mean, I can't really say a lot, but I feel confident that I got to the bottom of what exactly was happening, and I gave advice. And it's going to be up to individuals to take that advice. And that's as far as I'll go with it,
Right.
publicly, because when we make her stuff, but yeah, Beth's health isn't the best. Like, everybody that knows who I'm talking about, if you're comfortable, please send her positive thoughts and prayers. It's not the best.
She's been through a lot. They all have.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of the deciding reasons that I wanted to say something about, like, the whole love and light thing. We need to like be vigilant on things like that, especially after doing things like Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah, because it can creep in. Things can creep into your relationship, and you'll think that it's just y'all fighting, for example, or you might have a string of bad luck, or it can happen to your family members. It might not happen to you. It'll go for the weakest link or the weakest part of your body to hurt you. Pure
I've taken
darkness, pure evil
precautions.
does that.
I've made sure not to be extra like moody or anything like that. Like I've made it a purpose, like since we've been back, just to not make anything come of that. Just because usually if you don't get a whole lot of activity where you're at, that's because you might get it when you come back. But the fact that we all did what we did, told them to stay, I'm hoping that, you know, they obeyed. And so far it seems like they have, because I haven't seen anything.
I think they did, and I also think they prey on the weak. And I don't think any of us were weak.
Absolutely.
They can dig the weak out, and they will prey on the weak.
Yeah, they're like undead narcissists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I can say, they saw those guardians because they had to. They had to see them.
That was
And
wild.
they didn't just come in for me. They came in for everybody. It's not because, you know, they're not just my guardians. The guardians, I recognized them. They come in to protect us. I've not had that happen.
Chastity.
What's up?
The reason nothing messed with me is because I walked in and I addressed them and said, "Look, don't mess with me. Y'all don't want to smoke."
I believe it.
He did say that. He did say that as soon as we walked in the door. I was like, okay,
yeah, I believe it.
Here we go.
You just really wanted something to happen. That's okay.
We're going
I
to
shouldn't
try
have
to
asked
go
for
to
what I asked for.
Yeah, we're going to try to go to the Trivet Clinic in July. I like that place. Like, I feel like there's friendlies. I haven't been in the basement. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know a little bit about it. So I'm going to try to do a classic paranormal, a classic psychic investigation, and then do the paranormal part. That's going to be my goal. I don't know how long do they give us at the Trivet Clinic?
What
were we there till 2?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
2
eight, about the same as Bobby Mackey's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as disorienting. There's only a couple places I felt dizzy and got visions in that place, but I think that would be really cool. I've got to try to figure out how to raise. Me and V have to save up about $1,000 to go on our big trip, our big top secret trip that I can't talk about.
Right.
But I can once it works out. But we've got to somehow get $1,000 to go. But once we do this, it's going to be change. It's going to change things. It's going to change the game for sure. I'm honored. I'm excited. I'm ready to dig in.
Where there's a will, there's a way. It'll happen.
That's right. Yeah. So we're going to start saving up. But until then, between like just local investigations, or if y'all want company somewhere, let us know. We're down.
I
mean, I really got to get my fix. Like if I don't if on my way home from work, I'll stop by a graveyard.
Yeah, he's been telling me that. He's like, I got to get my fix. I'm like, calm down, whoa, Nelly.
So we Riley and I, we've been working on something for several months, and
we finally got it
to make it happen on Sunday. It just fell in our lap. We did some investigation, and anyway, it fell in our lap. So you've heard us say it before, the Hell House in Kinston. We've been in there 3, maybe 4 times. Well, we actually found the new owner, talked to the new owner, and he's wanting us to go back in there. So
I'll see y'all there. I'm kidding.
I'm saying, so we got to plan it. So the plans for that home were to tear it down, and they were going to sell the land. Where he actually wants to remodel the home. You know, they were working there for a while, and nobody's been there in about a month, and that was a perfect sign to me. I told Riley, I was like, the reason they're not working there now, somebody's experienced something. You know, but that's not the case. He said that we really haven't experienced anything. He said it's funny that our cordless tools don't last as long in there. So that was not, that was a giveaway to me and him. But he said, I don't think we've experienced anything out of the normal. But he said, we definitely haven't been in there after the sun goes down. And I don't think it matters in that place whether it's day or not.
Yeah.
But so we're going to do some planning. Dylan is chomping at the bit to do something. He's been out of action for a month or so.
yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta put we gotta put the squill on something.
The big squeal.
Well, you can just tell him that he could make a lot of money, probably more money off of making that a haunted attraction, I guess you could say. Than
I actually told him that, and he was blown away by it. And after I told him, I said, "Look, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. That place is haunted, and it's not one of those.
Friendly Casper.
It's not one of those that it's haunted and it's going to be okay. It's not.
Yeah.
He said, I really don't know what I got to tell my wife. I'm curious how that conversation went. And I told him, I said, look, we can come in here. We want to come back in anyway, but maybe we can cleanse. And we've kind of tried to set them free anyway, but I don't think they wanted it.
Yeah, they didn't want to hit it.
So what? I guess what I'm saying is we want y'all to come. We got to plan it.
I want to.
And yeah, I want you to, because it's totally different than anywhere we've been.
It's raw dog.
It is, yeah. It's B, you'll definitely get your fix, my friend.
I've been very curious about it since I've heard you guys talking about it. Like I went back and watched some stuff. Like it's pretty cool.
And I want to see. We haven't shown any video, I don't think, of any of it. Just because we're lazy, not because we won't try to. We just haven't. We haven't had the ability to make it look good because we suck.
Yeah, we suck.
but we're
no. I was talking about the last, like one of the last few lives you did. Like you were bringing it up, like just how you guys have talked about it has been so like.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that watch me love y'all, so don't think you suck. Y'all don't suck.
Yeah, well, good.
You guys got that personality too, you know.
Yeah.
Like, no, you really do.
Well, that's good. We've been called lots of things, so.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Brittany? The volume keeps cutting out. Just speak. If you could speak a little louder.
I said that they're very entertaining too.
Yeah, we get that. We do get that often. And that's good because we, that is our nature. We do bullshit a lot, but in a good way. Most of the time.
I was gonna say it's not
until
a bad
Riley
thing.
starts screaming all the way to my house.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then Dad's ready to go. He's like, or you call him Father? Then Father's ready to kick it.
So we're gonna figure it out. We were going to kind of try to announce it tonight and let you know. So I'm glad we bring it up. V needs his fix, but Dylan needs his fix. So Riley's ready, and Halo's kind of getting ready to go back, and I'd like for y'all to meet her face to face.
I really want to meet her.
She needs Halo, if you're watching, and I know she watches later.
Yeah.
Halo needs some guidance, okay? Because the spirits in Granger Auditorium, they just played her like a puppet. So that's another place we can go at any time.
Yeah,
it's at our beck and call.
Well, maybe we should plan like a weekend. Then, if we come out, maybe we could hit up one spot one night and one spot another. But
Absolutely.
see, the problem is V works on the weekend, so it'll have to. We that's the only problem.
Yeah. Well,
if it's a place we could make it to in a day, I could probably
it's only
do a
2.5 hours away.
Yeah, I could do a shift swap.
Yeah, we can. And look, that's the place we could do both of them in one day. We could, because truthfully, Granger, when you go in Granger, you don't know that it's dark. I mean, it's dark. There's no windows. It's dark, and it's a humongous basement. And when you step in there, you feel like you don't know that it's light outside. We could hit it during the day. Sun goes down, go to the Hell House, and we'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
That'll be cool.
The only basement type area Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just going to say about the West Virginia State Penitentiary and the Sugar Shack. That's probably the worst basement I've ever been in.
That didn't even affect me as bad as Bobby
Yeah,
Mackey.
it got to me a little bit because I could feel some stuff breathing in my neck. My hair's moving and stuff. Like it was
That sounds like
nauseating feeling.
house on it. You felt
Yeah.
something breathing on you there.
The
Yeah.
what house?
That was for me. I was in Georgia when something breathed in my ear at the Savannah Haunting House.
Could you feel the moisture from it?
I could every little bit of it.
Yeah,
It was
that was
that
just like
close
me.
to my ear.
Yeah, it's my brother. He says the same thing too. Like about that, he's had the same thing happen to him in his ear. Of
The
course,
chip, that same feeling that I got that night after it happened, and whatever it was breathed in my ear, and chills shot all down my back. I just got that feeling again.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. We might have run.
Yeah,
something
it's
on
like recalling it. No, Brittany's been through some stuff like being kin to the Lawsons. That's
Yeah.
something else right there. A whole
They
history.
don't know. Brittany, if you want to tell them, tell them.
Yeah,
I don't think they know.
I'm sorry, Brittany and Ethan. I didn't really announce who you guys were, but tell everybody because a lot more people will see this tomorrow and this
Yeah.
week.
You're fine. Well, I'm Brittany, of course, but I'm also related to Charlie Lawson from the North Carolina Christmas murders. He murdered his whole family on Christmas. But on top of that, another descendant, or not descendant, but a cousin of his is how I'm related, is my father's grandfather. So I guess my great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
He also did the sewer slide. He did sewer slide on December 23rd, 2 years before I was born. I can't talk,
Burn.
but you know,
She sure ain't country. Burn.
You can't talk about nobody being country.
I
Me and you
But-
cannot talk about being country.
know. I'm a bumpkin.
but you know, I experienced some interesting things from being related that closely. I believe he was like first or second cousins with Charlie Lawson, but that whole side of my family, it's very crazy. I don't
Mm.
have much relationship with them. That they've been known to try to kill each other and things.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Uh,
There's a lot of that around here.
yeah, I haven't spoken to them in a long time actually, but other than that, I've had my own paranormal experiences. Like I've also lived in haunted houses and I've encountered a demonic entity while being an adult and living on my own, but that's the gist of me, I guess, unless you want more. But Ethan, you can you.
I'm Ethan. I used to live in a haunted house. I don't live in a haunted house anymore. And now I go on investigation.
And y'all are good at it. Y'all are good at it. It was a pleasure meeting y'all and being with y'all. We really enjoyed it.
Ethan.
Yeah, you guys impressed me. Y'all are really good.
Ethan.
Yeah.
You forgot the part in your introduction. You forgot the part where you said you play backup role for Jamie Johnson and sing at the dive bar every other Friday night.
If only. If only.
We need to get V up there and do a Slipknot song.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'll do. I'm
Y'all
going.
both need to go karaoke together. That's what we need to make them do, Brittany. We need to make them go karaoke in their own style.
Yes.
There's actually a place in Virginia coming up that's doing like an open mic thing where they're trying to get bands formed.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I'll go with you, V.
Nathan, yeah. I'll go.
Bands are
I
like
still
being
feel
married to
good.
people, and it's too much responsibility. I got a girl already. I don't want to deal with the whole band because they all act like little girls these days. Yeah.
You don't know that. He almost got signed, y'all. And it's just, everybody, he started a band. It didn't work out for multiple reasons. Not all of them good, not all of them bad, but
Wasn't meant to be.
That's right.
It is what it is.
yeah. So if I tried to get him to karaoke, he won't do it.
I might, just maybe not metal.
You can do the two things he can do the best: metal, like,
Oh,
and
okay.
country.
You're going somewhere else with that.
But he don't like country.
The old hot
I thought that
Louis.
was going somewhere else for a minute.
He's
I
calm
was like,
down.
hang on.
Oh my goodness.
The hot.
It's
Hey, y'all
past
know
our
that was
silly
funny.
time. It's 2.5 hours in.
Hey, look, I'm about to
Tracy
pull a
joined the
chastity.
chat. Tracy joined the chat. She's our I call her our local she's the hype girl in the chat. So Tracy come in and everything's starting to get wild now. Tracy, you hyping us up,
yeah.
girl.
I can't see the chat, which depresses me. Hey, Tracy.
She brought the funk,
She bring the fire.
the fire.
Yeah, being signed with a label is overrated. They want your soul.
That's what
Yeah.
they say.
There's way too much stuff with their contracts. Like I did a lot of research into it, and it's not worth it. If I ever did anything, it would definitely be running independent, and it'd not be for the fame.
No.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be famous like that.
Well, I think the guys are pretty famous now. Some of them, Tom McDonald,
Yeah.
Up Church. Because I guess Jelly Roll is signed with a label now. I'm sure. I don't know how
Yeah.
that works.
Probably
You know,
so.
I'm actually a OG Tom McDonald fan. I knew his work when he only had like 4,000 subs, and he was writing music that has nothing to do with the kind of music he was writing now. And
Right.
I actually he was one of those people that showed me that it was possible. All these people telling everybody he's an industry plant and stuff. I haven't put that to bed. I watched him come up. I actually got to see that myself. So like his stuff is real.
We got to talk
Like
to him actually.
yeah,
He's
we talked to him and I made a fool out of myself.
Nick was so nervous, but yeah, we got to talk to him. The kids got to talk to him. Ivy, she was like 4 at the time, and it was wild. Like, we actually talked to them on the phone. He was on Discord with him and Nova, and we were the very last people to get selected out after waiting like 4 hours, and
wow.
Nova selected us. So we got to talk, and right before he really blew up. He was still really popular then. Don't get me wrong, but it was right before he really blew up.
My question was the one that made him have to just be like, okay, I've had enough.
But it worked out.
Yeah, it was great, honestly. And I mean, they're good people, like deep down, and they work hard. It was just them two, like putting together all those music videos and stuff. So the fact that they brought it up to what it is now is proof that you can do anything good as long as you're willing to put forth the real effort.
Yeah, you got to put some effort in it.
Mm-hmm. No great gain comes without sacrifice.
Absolutely.
That's my rule.
I agree with that.
Like out of all the crazy guru stuff I could say, that's the most important advice I can give to anyone, at least at this point in my life.
You made my point again, V, because you know what Down South Supernatural started with, V?
What's that?
Me looking on the internet for ghost hunting equipment and going to pulling up Ghost Stop and finding. We started with a Rook EMF meter and EVP recorder. That's all we had.
You got the ghost kit.
Yeah, this beginner's kit.
Beginner's kit. Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Now we got 2 cases, and we're working on number 3 when Angel builds this. When Angel
I
builds.
told you we ain't talking about equipment tonight. Here you go. You can't stand
Y'all, I'm serious. We have to have an off-screen conversation about equipment. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I mean, I could talk for a while on it, but there's definitely some stuff I've been looking at, and I want to run past you guys.
He doesn't want me to hear. That's why he wants to have an off-screen conversation.
Okay.
She's
just
not
a
allowed
heads
to look at
up,
my filming
V.
equipment.
The dog is getting ready to come out.
You're a little late on that.
Yeah, well, I tried.
You're a little.
The dog is already here because she's that fast.
She is that fast.
Say hi.
You're a little light on
You
that.
made it there. That's awesome.
That's our baby. You can't see her though
Dog
because
breath.
she's black and it's dark.
Hey, there's no need to be that way. She
You
can't
know
help what
I
color
mean.
she is, and her
I'm
color
just
is
telling
just
everybody
fine.
if they can't see her, it's because she's mostly a solid black dog. Her mama was a black pit bull and her daddy was a black German Shepherd. Full blood.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This dog is very trippable. Like, you can trip over this dog really easy in the dark.
You can't see her.
I saw her fine when she
Yeah.
smiled. What?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Nothing intended.
No.
Yeah.
There's
She was like this.
And that one dog, a German Shepherd and a pit bull.
Yeah, that's a common.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the perfect mix. I would never
Shepherd.
want a different dog. Yeah,
We
a
call her
Shepherd is
Shepherd.
amazing. She's
Yeah,
got the loyalty of a pit bull and the obedience of a German Shepherd.
German Shepherd ain't no smarter than a German. And obedience, you're right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I told Dad there was 2 breeds of whoop ass in that dog.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
German Shepherd and a pit bull.
And one I don't even know about, because I'm gonna tell you what, this dog, it ran 3 backyards in 3 seconds to tackle a deer, and it's the size of a pit bull.
It was
Wow.
smaller. It wasn't even fully grown. She took a deer down.
She was like probably
6 months.
7 months old, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. I had to chase my dog down, and my neighbor's watching me run through his backyard too. He watched the dog, and then he just looks over. Then he watches me, and he looks over, and the next thing you know, he's watching me like jump on top of my dog, pulling it off of a deer. And yeah,
Wow.
the deer lived. It didn't get hurt.
Good.
I mean, bad. It lost a little fur, but that was it. No blood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was not a full grown deer. It was like right out of juvenile, so like almost ready to breed.
Oh,
If that gives you a perspective. Yeah, so to see a dog be able to do something like that and be like as small and agile as she is, it's incredible. Like, I wouldn't want a different dog, except for the fact that I can't really hug my family or like get physical with them, like wrestle around with them or anything like that without her being right in between us.
Not fun.
Oh, she knows it.
Yeah. She don't
She's
like
mad
it when
because I won't let her in here with me up on the bed because she'd be making noise or she'd go to the door and want to be let out. And
she's just as happy as she could be right now. She knows we're talking about her. She's very smart. Like, she knows an entire language.
I don't doubt that. The smartest,
Yeah.
one of the best dogs I had was a German Shepherd. When I was a kid, that dog guarded me with everything it had.
Amen. That's one of the best parts about German Shepherds.
Yep.
And they're very protectful, but they're one-person dogs usually.
Yeah.
Like, I had to like leave my dog alone and let her actualize around everyone else before she would actually stop doing that as much. So now she kind of has loyalty to everyone in the family, but before then she would only listen to me. Yeah, and it's my fault because I train dogs that way, and I never trained dogs with a family before. So I always train dogs to just be with me, and always. I mean, I had this one dog that actually come from Chastity that was a pit bull long before we ever got together, like many years. And I had her to a snap and pop. Like she could jump, run, and do anything I would point and tell her to do. And whenever I go into somebody's house, I could point in a corner and say hole, and that would be the hole for her. She would go sit down in that spot, and anytime I would say that in any house, she would always remember where I pointed to, and she would go to it.
That's cool.
That was incredible. But this dog here is like that on steroids. Like I can about have her do anything I need her to do, and it's just incredible. I didn't think a dog could be this smart, and I have known other German Shepherds before, but I mean, the fact that people ever try to say dogs don't have souls, they're full of shit. I don't care what they say.
Animals do have
They're full of
souls.
shit. Yes, they do. 100%.
But yeah,
Even snakes, Chastity. Rattlesnakes.
I like snakes. I just don't want one in my house.
You can't have one in your house. I have to build a building.
You can have a non-venomous snake.
No snakes
I'm not
here.
having a venomous snake in my house for you to accidentally lose.
Yeah,
You crawl into bed with me. I ain't
Yeah.
having that. I'm sorry.
It's not gonna be in the house, I promise. It'll be in a building.
I hope so
I want
too,
a-
dead
I
serious.
want a
They're
Diamondback
I was
so
telling them
bad.
Dr. Pepper should sponsor me. So they're laughing about me and you drinking in the chat over here. They're laughing about me and you going back and forth with our Mountain Dew Dr. Pepper. And don't you?
I got the 2-liter to troll you.
They
He's got
should
the whole 2 liter.
sponsor.
Oh yeah, sponsorship time.
I've drank enough Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew should pay
We
me.
gotta turn and see the ghost.
Yeah. There you go. We're not sponsored though, unfortunately.
We need to
Maybe
go.
one day, like Dead Serious said.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sponsored. I've been sponsored by Spirit.
You're sponsored. You are
sticking to it.
sponsoring Mountain Dew at this point. You need to hush. Do
Right
y'all
now, I'm
think it would
being
be a good
sponsored by
idea
Smoke.
before we end the
God.
live to see if anybody watching had any questions about Bobby Mackey's?
You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Because I know Greg's got to get up early. I see you fading over there, and my back's killing me. I'm gonna have to get off here
big.
before real
I'm
long.
hungry. I'm hungry. We hadn't ate supper yet.
Yeah, I'm
Nah,
hungry,
we
too.
about ain't either.
Well, take the camera with you and go cook something. We can turn this into a whole different live.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I
just
hope we
kidding.
got some fresh
My
bread
name
and
ain't Betty
some
Crocker,
beans.
bitch. Okay, you need to calm down. It's Chastity Luna Beans. Okay.
To be sure, somebody's got questions about it.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions, just type it in the chatties.
The chatty?
The chatties, they know what I mean.
Type it in the chastities.
That's
There
what
is no
happens after
titties
you
in my
talk that
name.
bad.
Calm down.
You get the chatties.
Yeah.
It only is when you fall.
The chatty. And you listen to that song. Shatter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No questions
Lord.
tonight. That's not cool. Come on, everybody.
Everybody just got so
Well, they may,
tired.
yeah. I'm sure we might get one or two. Yes, Connie, they do. They definitely have souls. And she's saying a whole kingdom of souls, like the animals. And she's talked to me about that, like animal kingdoms, and different people are attuned to that more so than others, depending on like their soul, I'd assume, and depending on how much, I guess, too, how much love they care about animals as well.
I like that place, Chastity. Animal Kingdom.
What the heck's that got to do with anything?
She was just talking about Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, the spiritual animal kingdom. And I don't, which I'm looking, did anyone poop their pants during the investigation? I wiped well. It's fine.
I did, but just because
Tracy
I had
asked
trouble
that.
getting to the bathroom.
Anybody
because I
willing
was
to fess up? I wore the pins. It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't chat. I'm good.
I did not.
I mean, it was just fun. That's all I can say.
It was a good time. It was. I don't regret it, and I'm glad we went.
Yeah.
We were thinking about going. I don't know why. We were thinking about maybe next year. So, but that would have been way too late because it's going to be torn down next month. I think.
Yeah, it is. It was meant to be, and everybody,
Yeah.
again, they were asking why tear it down. Well, it's pretty bad in there. The roof's caving in. You're walking sideways in some places, and they're trying to keep
Yeah.
the room of faces, that wall, one of those walls. If they can keep that wall as a structurally sound wall, then they don't have to build the actual new Bobby Mackey's back, which will keep the portal to hell, and it'll keep the room of faces, which is going to make it, just already. I mean, yes, some of the souls will flee. I hope, I was able to help some of them find peace, because that's one of the things that happened is I was being communicated with prior to going within like 3 days. And they, I knew there was a soul that wanted to leave. And then when we got that on the spirit box, like bring in the light, that's what got my attention. I come over there with night vision. We all see me on night vision. I look like an alien. It's really weird. My eyes, I guess because of my high cheekbones, I look
Everyone
real
does.
weird because of the Indian. I was like, whoa, it looks weird. I just never seen myself in night vision. So y'all may think I was an alien. But I'm going to get her done. I'm going to try to get the video out by Friday. That's the goal. I'm going to work my ass off this weekend and get her done. And for our Appalachian Nightmare, we are starting a Patreon. I just want to have maybe... I'm going to try to have at least a few things on there, and I might just do one level for now. That's where I'm going to put my bonus footage, because Patreon, between our merch and Patreon, that helps fund these trips. And for everybody, in this chat here, in this bubble, or not the chat, but on the picture here on the friggin' fracking screen, it costs a lot of money to do this. It's not like we're not trying to beg or plead, but I am saying, like, if any support, I don't know, eventually, I don't know if y'all have anything set up. I know one day y'all might, like, the support, just the viewership of these videos is number one. I always say that, of course, friendship, I say, is number one. But in terms of the YouTube world, the viewership, the interaction, the comments, we appreciate you all being here for all of us, and, just supporting us. Yeah, it keeps us going. And then anything, never feel obligated. I just always throw that stuff out there, because right now we can only do one place a month, and eventually we're going to run out of places. And if we can't go, there might be a month we can't go, and it would be mostly monetary reasons why. So that's why if you hear me put out merch or put out Patreon and stuff like that, that's what it's for. I mean, purely. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there.
It's not just because we're money hungry.
No. It was $650 to go on a weekday to Bobby Mackey's, plus the trip up there, with the gas. And I had help with some gas, and I had help with the car, and it would not have been possible without that to go see Beth, because that was the main reason that I went up there. Bobby Mackey's was just a bonus. But we were meant to go. I think we all were meant to go. I think it was a great time. It was spooky. Ultimately, Bobby Mackey's is haunted.
It
is haunted for sure.
It's definitely that. Well,
Let's see.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
We can rewind that.
Just the main upstairs, since the apartment is demolished. Yeah, I definitely think there's a portal upstairs. Let's see. How do you think the spirits felt when you were leaving? They were ready for us to go.
Mm-hmm.
They were done with us just as much as we were done with them. Like, after the Estes session is when Greg and Riley left, because they had their family waiting in the car and they were ready to get some rest. So they left out a little tiny bit early, not by much, but I could tell once we did that Estes session, that darkness come in, because we did send out an invitation by opening that line. And there's something about the Estes session that is different. With the sensory deprivation, the Estes methods are always the things people look forward to in a video, because they're just so raw. They're the most proof, because Greg, I could hear and I was across the room. I could hear it faintly coming through the headphones. There's absolutely zero way that Greg could hear anything we were saying.
I had it turned all the way up just to erase any doubt about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was answering almost every one of our questions.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm glad it's educational. Educate, and like my motto is, what is it? Educate, entertain, and enlighten for across the board with all three of my channels. So
Absolutely.
that's the goal here. And because if it wasn't for the educational part, you wouldn't see my face right here, right now. That's what I'm here for. It's part of my purpose. As I learn, I share, especially with the paranormal.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a night to remember. I'll never forget it. I'm glad that I went to.
I won't either.
Same. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
And I
We
wouldn't have
enjoyed
wanted to
watching
win it
it.
with anybody else. I know we did miss Dylan. I hate that Dylan couldn't go.
Dylan and Angel. I wish they could have been there.
Yeah, and Angel too. That's right. I wish he almost went. But he couldn't get off of work, and that's understandable because we only had a weekday at that time. If we didn't get that slot, there wouldn't have been any slots, but people have canceled. But finally, it's all completely booked. So that is the end of the Bobby Mackeys as we know it. And we got to be a part of that history. So whatever documents we got, we made history together. So, I mean, for... it might not sound like anything crazy to some people, but for what we do, it's pretty big. And I was happy to be a part of it with you all.
Yeah, and thanks to the people that helped us make it happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chastity.
What's up?
Now we can. Now I'm going to unveil the next place that this group right here on the screen that we're going to go tackle.
Where are you going?
Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah. He wants to get us out to Skinwalker Ranch. If I go out west, though, I'm trying to go for like a few weeks because people, if I go out west and I don't come see some of these people that are in this chat, they're going to whoop me. When I see them, they're old enough to bend me over their knee and beat my ass. So
Chastity.
We're going to have to get an RV or something. I got to bring a tent with me. And sleep in somebody's backyard. I don't know. Probably too crippled to do that, but at the same time, I can try. I gotta get a good air mattress.
I might have to find a different job.
And a redneck air conditioner.
Same, V. I'm with you on that.
Oh, speaking of that, hey, anybody in the chat here on YouTube or anything, I do show either monster products, drink, and or ghost energy.
Oh, you almost
Either
there you go.
monster and ghost energy.
The ghosts are pretty good if you hadn't tried them.
I wish I could.
I hadn't tried them.
But it's only fitting to have a sponsorship from Ghost. I mean, right? This sounds right.
It is. It is.
Or monster, I mean.
They're not going to do it. We're not athletic enough for that one.
Well, dead serious. If we plan to go to Skinwalker Ranch, we're going to get you there one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get you out there. And that's true. Tracy says not many people discuss the darker things like this. They always say it's a demon. And I don't appreciate that. Just to be real like you are. Yeah, it's not always a demon. There's demonized spirits, but that doesn't make them a demon. It just means they have those characteristics. When you're dealing with something demonic. Once you get used to, I hate to say this, once you've felt that type of energy,
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know without no doubt. And
they attack your mentality. They attack you from afar. You don't have to go where they are. They can come to you telepathically. And it's a type of omnipresence that's nowhere near comparable to obviously God's omnipresence or the universal energy omnipresence. But they have that ability to ride those tethers and get in your mind. That's what they're best at. And they can wait. They'll wait till you're weak and vulnerable. And that's when they...
And yeah, Chastity. It won't take them long to let you know they're that either. It don't take long.
Yeah,
they'll let you know in a heartbeat. They ain't ashamed of it.
Yep,
it's true evil that beats the book. Carly.
Yep.
Who?
Carl the Crusher, YouTuber. You'll meet. Who's Carl the Crusher? I know nobody on YouTube.
I don't know that person.
I don't either.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
look
I
it
think I'm gonna hop off here for the night. I gotta check on the two oldest. The house ain't burnt down yet, which I'm still in the house, but I got the door shut. So,
We're gonna do the
Hey,
same
let's
thing.
throw some meat on this fire.
well, you better get out there and get to
What did he say?
getting that meat
It's nice
ready.
and
I don't know.
hot. Oh God, there we go again. Yeah, we're gonna fire up the honey hole. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Stop. He's talking about the fire. He wants to cook something on the fire. The fire. Fire. We're gonna make
Yeah,
us
I'm sorry.
fire. We're gonna grill us
I
some
went where
wings.
everybody else was wanting to go, or whatever.
Yeah, we're making muffins.
Cassidy, just
Tracy.
remember Hawk Tui.
Yeah. I'm gonna get right in there. I'm gonna Betty Crocker it right on. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Jeez,
Man, that shit's gonna be on a T-shirt tomorrow. Watch,
it may be.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
All right,
Well-
guys, we appreciate it. Thank y'all very
Thank
much.
y'all.
And we enjoyed it. Ethan, Brittany, thank y'all.
Bye,
Vinny,
y'all.
Cassidy, we appreciate it. And we'll
Very
be
welcome.
looking forward
Always
to
a pleasure. Until
Well-
next time, guys.
Yeah, y'all be safe.
He's out.
See y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, down south. That was a heck of a live tonight.
That was a heck-
3 hour mark right now. We're gonna end it on that one.
Yeah, we're
Keep
gonna
up with us. We got something. We'll have the Hell House coming up shortly. We'll plan it out. Try to get that same group of guys here with us and get the rest of our team rolling. And
Yeah.
anyway,
Get everybody back on board and start getting ready to go into this 2025
what are you
year.
talking about, man? It's the 6th month of 2024. We ain't done yet.
Man, I know that, but right before the fall rolls in, or before the summer goes away and the fall can come, and the fall time
Spit
of
it
the
out.
year, the cooler months, the
Yeah,
fall,
the
that
fall.
time,
Okay, I'm with
before
you.
that time comes in, try to gear up and get ready to hit some
Gearing up
good
right now. What are
locations.
you talking about? We're gearing up
Yeah.
right now. We got to save some money now.
I mean, I've been geared
we
up.
have spent too much money.
I know.
We gotta take a little break, save a little money, and then we'll figure out where we're going. Anyway, thank y'all. Thank all the viewers.
Thank you all.
Like us and share us and all that good
Yeah.
stuff that I don't understand. Help us grow a little bit. And
Yeah.
like everybody else, and look forward to Chastity's video coming out on the 28th, as well as we'll be starting to put something together. And I'm not even going to tell you a date because we have no clue.
We have no God's honest truth.
But we'll have fun doing whatever we're doing anyway. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for tuning in. And
Like and share this video. Please try to get us out there.
let's close this thing out because I'm hungry.
All right. Down south out.
Out. Good night.